And given the skill of our runners, we might be seeing a lot of interesting things that may or may not be required, and we are underway.
Right off the bat, you see Monaco doing Super Metroid arm pumping. What that does is by tapping L or R as you're moving to aim your gun, it shifts you forward a pixel. You do it over and over, and your speed's not actually increasing, but it comes to the same thing.
And we see Maniacal and pretty much everyone switching over to the Link to the Past side, which makes sense considering that the Hyrule side of things has a lot more options in the early game. And we see super missiles at Lake Hylia Islands. Not a bad thing, but it's probably, unless we're really starved for super missiles, runners probably won't go for it.
So we see 3 bombs at Sanctuary and 300 rupees in Link's house. The bombs are going to be handy for when we get possibly going for the castle dungeon or doing the Kakariko town chat.
Oh yes, finding bombs early is always a huge plus.
Well,
although it looks like Aussie is going to be buying bombs right off the bat, just so we don't have to worry about it at all. But probably disappointed if he opens the Sanctuary chest now, but looks like he's going to be heading to Kakariko Village from the south end. And
meanwhile, the prize from the bush crab was 8 bombs, so Monaco's sitting pretty with that. He's heading out to check the lumberjack ledge, see if we're going to need AGA 1 to get whatever that is.
And it's a reserve
It's just
tank.
a reserve tank.
And meanwhile, we've seen a couple of E-tanks already. One at the Thieves' Hut and one at Uncle, with a heart container also in that Uncle spot. So finding some health, especially on the Super Metroid side, is nice to see early.
If you see too much of it, it can be worrisome, because superheated rooms in Super Metroid can be in logic to run without the various. They're called hell.
But I think it's only when you get up to like 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's 3. I believe it's 3 energy tanks to go from the business center in Norfair to the Ice Beam area, and then 5 to go to Bubble Mountain.
Meanwhile, Asder is checking Blind's hut. Let's see what we got here.
5 items here, including the one in the back there where he just bombing open. And it looks like Aussie is into the castle dungeon.
Yeah, we got missiles, 300 rupees again. Ooh, hello, first sword. And an arrow expansion. So, for a sword early, that is huge.
And the last item is a second arrow capacity upgrade.
And, ooh, another E-tank. Okay, yeah, we're definitely seeing... That's a third E-tank we've seen so far.
Meantime, Aster's jumping into the well. There's another 5 items there.
Yes, I believe so. We got ourselves a heart piece. Super missiles. Lovely find. Was that hookshot?
Yes, it was.
Bomb expansion, I think that was another super missile pack. Ooh, boy. Hookshot is another lovely thing to see.
Also got money for the bottle vendor. There's the cane of Samaria. Oh my gosh.
And a glove in Escape, too.
I don't get why you call this part the Escape. It's the castle dungeon.
Yes, but you're in standard mode and in the vanilla game, you're coming in here to rescue Zelda, and then you're taking her with you to escape the castle.
I get that, but I would only call the part after you push the throne aside the Escape.
Just a map in Zelda Cell. I think that was 20 rupees in the tavern. And I go check
at the chicken hut.
And there's our second glove.
Holy crap.
Oh my. Wow. Both gloves already. Dang.
So, Aussie made the castle dungeon play. He's the only one to do that so far. So hopefully the others think of that soon.
Yes, especially after getting that sword in Blind's hut. That would definitely make that a feasible thing, as opposed to also using bomb strats this whole time.
Meantime, Aster's heading for the race game, just a heart piece, and he's going to save and quit. Ooh, literacy in the back of the escape.
Mm-hmm. So we got an interesting combination of items. We got a sword, hookshot, cane of Samaria, and ultimately Titan's mitts. Still no Moon Pearl, so we can't really do much in the Dark World yet.
We technically have access to a Dark World portal with the mitts, correct?
Correct. The one north of Kakariko, but without Moon Pearl, we can't really do much. And we've got a map check. Green pendant in Desert, regular pendant in Eastern, and a crystal at Tower of Hera, I believe that was.
And Asi is about to drain the dam.
And there's a sword in the library too. Oh my!
And there's the boot.
And there's the wow! Oh my goodness! This seed is just throwing stuff at our runners. That actually makes me worried that it's going to troll something super hard later. But yeah, boots in the drained lake. Sword upgrade at the library. Oh my!
Asi using bomb strats on the mini Moldorm cave.
Still hasn't been to. How did that bomb not hit?
That was unusual.
Yes, it was. But let's see what we have. We got another pack of missiles, heart piece, power bombs. I think that's the first of those we've seen. Another
Yes,
heart
that
piece,
is the first.
and more missiles. So at least we're getting some decent ammo for the Super Metroid front.
Looks like Maniacal is doing Dark Cross.
And it's missiles.
And Aster just got his mini Moldorm check in as well. And he's following the Nazi's footsteps toward the Ice Rod Cave.
So with all the items that we're getting, there are two major items that we're still missing. We're missing Moon Pearl, and we're also still missing Morph Ball. Those are probably two of the biggest items as far as unlocking things later on.
Absolutely. Super Metroid is almost all of your access to Super Metroid is gated by the Morph Ball.
Which is a large reason why runners typically go to Hyrule first, because if you were just pretty much the only things you can really check in Super Metroid first thing would be a vanilla Morph Ball spot and not much else.
Meantime, Asi's got Water Walk set up, and he's into Zora's Domain for a reserve tank and a red rupee at the Waterfall of Wishing. Aster's right behind him.
And Asi does not have enough rupees for King Zora, but Aster does.
Zora Ledge is just a heart piece, so Asi's going to nope on out of there. Well, Aster's going to keep going. Be interesting to see what we get from the big fish today.
And okay, that
yeah, Aster bunked and it reset his water walk, but he's up here, so
at least it was a bunk and not an enemy hitting him. Because if I remember correctly, if an enemy would have hit him during that state, it would be instant death.
I think that might specifically apply to the Moon Pearl water walk, but I'm not 100% sure.
You might be right. Yeah, we got Aussie checking the bonk rocks. And just another heart piece.
Maniacal gets his mini Moldorm in as Nidoranfit grabs those Pegasus boots.
The Lumberjack ledge was reserve tank, yes?
Correct.
Okay. So with the glove, our runners might try to sequence break up to Death Mountain, especially with that hookshot in hand.
Right, 'cause that gets you over to East Death Mountain, which gets you Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave. That's a total of 8 more checks, correct?
Yes, that does sound right. Doesn't get you to Tower of Hera because you need either the mirror or the hammer for that.
And
But
looks like
that is a
yep,
lot of
as there
checks.
is indeed sorry. As I was saying, as there is indeed doing the dark rooms to head over there. They'll rescue Gary the old man, and there'll be one item in Norfair he can check at the business center, and another one he can actually pick up.
And Needlerific is heading into Desert with that book. Well, Desert Palace is... Well, you can't really clear Desert Palace because you need a fire source, but... There are a couple of things you can check. If anything, we can... Well... Even if it is boots locked, they have boots anyway, so that's a non-issue.
So Azure is not taking the cross-game portal to Norfair just yet. He's probably going to get his checks here first. All right, top of Spectralocky is the Fire Rod. How about that? So
nice.
Based on what we know, it's guaranteed we'll need Fire Rod, so we are definitively also looking for Mirror.
And yep, as they're taking the portal over to Norfair, and there's another E-Tank.
That is actually Vanilla.
And without the Morph Ball, can't check to see what's beyond it.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Also, okay.
Another sword and Rockmire escape. Oh my! So that's our third sword we've seen.
Yeah, that's all Aster can do in Super Metroid right now, so he's going to head on back to Link to the Past.
But hey, knowledge has been gained for sure.
Meantime, Neaterific is making his way through Desert, as much as he can at least.
Yeah, can at least check all the stuff in the front. Can't really do anything in the back yet, but...
Monaco gets his Master Sword off of the library bookcase. Aster is into Paradox Cave. 7 items here.
And there's the Various suit in Desert. Oh my!
Very nice.
And Speed Boost in Paradox for Asder. Oh my! Thing is, this is still technically out of logic because we need either the lamp or the flute to be up here right now.
Right.
Arrows, charge beam, always good. Red boomerang, E-tank, and a heart container.
So Neaterific finding Varia in Desert means Hell runs most likely will not be in logic. Desert is fully in logic at this point. Aside from getting to Land Moles, which is locked by a fire source.
Correct. And the only thing that could have stopped you from getting anything from out of the front half of Desert was something being on the torch, which they have boots already, so that's a non-issue.
Looks like Aster never did the castle moat earlier. He's getting that in now. Monacle's got his route to Death Mountain clear, and Dead Rock's the opening of Gary's cave.
Well, it'll stop us from getting in there, but doesn't stop the old man.
Interesting coincidence, that.
So, based off of what I'm seeing here, it looks like, at least in this version of this combo randomizer, we do not have the hint tiles are not a thing.
They are not. This is version 29 of the Link to the Past randomizer. The hint tiles were added in version 30.
And we got Aussie and King's Tomb. And it's more supers.
Aster is now doing the castle dungeon.
And we'll be getting their Titan's mitts soon enough. And Maniacal up in Paradox Cave.
now that I'm thinking about it a little more, that speed booster is actually a reasonable amount of Super Metroid progression because you can use it to break bombable blocks. That would get them either as far as the first Chozo in the Gauntlet, and it would also get them as far as Big Pink and Brimstone.
Interesting. Which, based off of that, the question of where's Morph Ball might be a serious thing to consider.
Yeah, I've seen Morph Ball in Big Pink before. It looks like Aussie is doing Dark Cross, I think, based on where he was.
Yep. A question.
No, he's doing Death Mountain.
A question in chat regarding Tower and Hera being in Logic. Technically, Death Mountain itself is not in Logic because they don't have Lamp or the Flute. So everything they're finding up here is technically a sequence break. But Nidorific is checking the hobo with that water walk.
Zimnala also pointing out that with the Varia, we have access to a reasonable amount of Upper North Air, which is a good point. You can take the long way around and get to Bubble Mountain, and there's a bunch of checks there you can make.
Yeah, just having Varia suit early, so that Hell runs are completely off the table is probably a big sigh of relief for our runners. Even if they're competent enough to be able to do such things regularly, the fact that they don't have to is probably a nice thing to see.
All right, we've got Maniacal making a play toward Eastern. Going to check the Hospital's closet for 3 items.
And missiles, and $20.
F- Sahasrala. See me after the race.
And looks like Maniacal's going to go head for take a dip into Eastern itself.
Eastern has 3 prizes, correct?
I believe so. I'm a little fuzzy on some of the item counts in a few of these dungeons, but I believe there's 3. Although in order to get very far, their dark rooms might be a thing, and you can't even get to Armos without bow. Oh, but the big key early is nice. At least we don't have to loop back around to open the big chest.
Aussie doing the mini Moldorm cave. Looks like Aster is getting his bunk rock checks in.
Yep, our runners are pretty much retracing each other's steps right now, aside from Maniacal, and there's a bomb expansion.
So that's 1 prize.
And that's another sign that we're using an older version of the Link to the Past side of the randomization, since the newer versions don't have the capacity expansions as part of the prize pool.
It looks like Aussie's getting his Spiral Cave check in. Their second prize in Eastern, Missile Tank.
Mm-hmm. So if we're lucky, we could get our 3rd item right here, and Niacal can peace out, because then it would just be the map and compass left. And there it is, E-Tank. Won't have to even go into the dark room area.
Did you catch what Aussie just got out of Spiral Cave? I missed it.
I don't think he was the first one there. I don't think it was anything important.
Okay, so based on what we have, where do you think the logic is pointing the racers?
I don't think there's that much else left in Hyrule to check. I'm thinking with speed boost, probably, as you're saying, maybe a trip to Brinstar and a Big Pink or something.
There are also the 2 items in Retro Brinstar, which don't require anything to check.
Correct. That's been on the table from the beginning. And since, well, they don't have Morph Ball yet, so there's still some checks that they can't do, like under the spot under Mother Brain.
I think that is possible to check with a very, very tight speed booster usage, but I'm not sure.
But remember, Speed Boost is out of logic right now. So I'm thinking the lamp has...
Right.
Unless we find it here in Hyrule soon, I'm thinking Retro Brinstar might have the lamp. Or either the lamp or the flute, just to get all of that other stuff back in logic.
So,
or maybe Morph Ball or something. I don't know.
So I'm seeing all of our racers have 7 hearts at this point, and we're only 20 minutes in. It seems like that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of health. Yeah. Because also we find the blue tunic that'll effectively double that health. And also you'll be finding the various suits soon. And the thought occurred to me that they could go into Norfair. Remember, that's still out of logic. So I think if our runners care about being in logic, which some may not,
No, Vario is in desert. Norfair is in logic.
Yeah, but the warp to Norfair is not.
Oh, right.
And while doing sequence breaking is all well and good, you still have to keep it in the back of your mind that basically stuff like the lamp or the flute, or at least one of those things, can't be behind the speed boost. So you kind of have to keep it in mind, like what kind of things you got while sequence breaking, and knowing that what can't be behind those items.
Right.
But yeah, I think a trip to Retro Brinstar might be in the cards for our runners here. It's just a matter of how long it'll take, and I think we might be seeing our first one. It looks like Maniacal is doing a reset and is heading back into Super Metroid.
Yeah, the game saves automatically when you enter a cross-game portal, and if you hard reset your emulator or your console, you'll spawn back at the ship in Super Metroid.
Now it's just a matter of what direction does Maniacal go in. Does he continue on towards Terminator, or will he go into Retro Brin? And he's setting up a Shining Spark. He might be heading... Yep, there he goes.
So there'll be one item in Terminator, and then there's a lot in Green Brinstar and Big Pink that he can check.
And we've got 50 rupees in Terminator. Remember, this is still out of logic at the moment because you use Speed Boost to get to here.
Right.
So I'm thinking whoever goes to Retro Brin might get a leg up because I'm convinced that there's going to be progression there of some sort, whether it's lamp or flute to get the other things in logic, or maybe something like Morph Ball to as an alternate way of putting Big Pink in logic.
All right, the missile in early supers is just $20. Brinstar Reserve is more missiles. Knuckle cannot check the 2 items back there because he doesn't have the Morph Ball to roll through. Mm-hmm. So there's just the actual early supers now.
Which is regular missiles. We're already at 50 missiles, 15 supers, and 10 power bombs. Wow. Where was that second power bomb pack? I didn't see it.
Maybe possibly that's what someone found in Spiral Cave?
I think, maybe. All I remember is that it wasn't progression.
Alright, Azur is heading down Frog Speedway, and he's probably gonna gate glitch and head to Crocomire now.
Or head up to Bubble Mountain, maybe? Aha.
He can't.
Or-
He'd have to lay a power bomb.
Right, he's checked that one item, which I think was an arrow expansion.
Looks like Maniacal didn't find anything in Big Pink because he hard reset again. Yeah, but Asher's heading down toward Crocomire. Meantime, Ossie's getting his Eastern check in, and Nidorufic's getting his Paradox Cave check.
And Maniacal heading down to Blue Brinstar.
A Crocomire does not take damage like a normal boss does. He'll back up 1 step for every super missile and 3 steps for every super missile. So you just keep firing and you'll back him up into the lava. Or boiling acid, or whichever it is.
Although since Asder does have the charge beam, if you ever run out of ammo, you can still resort to charge shots if you have to. But
which is not as bad on Crocomire with the beams he has as it would be on other boss.
Right. And
yeah,
just 20 rupees and a heart piece at Morph Ball. And I did not see what was at Cathedral on Aussie's side since he's going through Upper North there.
It was 3 bombs.
Okay. And there's the flute. I called it.
You sure did.
I knew there was going to be progression. Now it's just a matter of damage boosting up there to get it. Oh, or never mind, speed boost. Never mind. What am I thinking? But that put all of that Death Mountain stuff in logic now.
Very good call. You read the logic very nicely.
And okay, Asder is going up and checking the post Crocomire stuff, finding a heart piece first. Question in chat: Varia suit was at the Desert Palace Big Chest.
Looks like Asder is. Oh, right, he can break through there with Speed Booster. Ooh, Indiana Jones at him is the grappling beam. So that's French vanilla, I'd say, because it's 1 room away.
Yeah, I'll call that French vanilla.
Now going for the Shine Spark across. Yep, he got that.
And Aussie at Speed Boost, I think that was an E-Tank, and Silvers at Speed Boost. That is nice. That is nice. And with the grapple beam, Asder is able to just go out the top way from at Crocomire Escape. And Nidorific about to get the flute as well.
Trying so hard. There's our Morph Ball at pre-North Air Reserve.
Oh, wow. That seems like a rude spot for it, but given the items that we've been given, it makes sense. But yeah, it definitely a nasty place for it. And there's another E-Tank. That's 8 E-Tanks already for Aussie.
And however many reserve tanks he found. Meantime, Maniacal has headed back to Link to the Past and has freed the goose.
Yes, the duck is amok.
Asder heading backward out of Crocomire's area to Crumble Tower. There's an item here he can check, right at the top.
And it's a shield.
And he's not going to bother.
Nah.
On the plus side, though, that means he'll probably loop around the Crocomire Escape and get his 3rd sword. 2nd sword. I didn't realize he only... Or not.
And we have a pet check from Maniacal, and it's a missile pack.
Oof. Well, check. Get your pet is dead.
Yeah, unfortunately. Be checking Wave Beam, finding a missile first. And another pack of missiles.
Meantime, Astor's heading back down Frog Speedway, back to the business center.
Apparently didn't go and get that other sword. Interesting.
He did not. Alright, and Astor's now going to go through the 3-room gauntlet to Bubble Mountain, and he'll get his Morpal, most likely.
Yeah. Now, Maniacal heading to the Desert Ledge looked like was contemplating heading into the Mire area, but still does not have that Moon Pearl, but it could have checked Checkerboard Cave, but that's about it, really. I think
there would have also been the one item in Lower North here where the screw attack is that he could have checked with the cross-game portal.
Ah, yeah.
Oh wait, no, Maniacal couldn't have. He didn't get the Morphle yet, so he wouldn't have been able to bomb through the blocks.
I guess you can't do it by just shooting downward.
No, those are bomb blocks.
Okay. Oh, right, no mirror, too. I forgot about that part. So, Mire area really is a no-go at the moment. Although I want to say there's some way you can get the stuff out of the Mire shed with some sort of Super Bunny thing, but that's not a trick I'm familiar with, so...
Meantime, Ossie's fighting Crocomire, Maniacal's in Desert, Nidorific's heading for Big Pink, and Astor is heading for Speed Booster.
It's always nice finding those silver arrows. Makes a whole lot of Link to the Past bosses a non-issue.
Ossie fighting Crocomire very effectively with the charge beam.
₹20 at the charge beam spot. Nidorific can't check anything beyond that because of no power bombs. No Morphle,
like
rather.
A missile pack in vanilla. Charge beam is one screen down on a Chozo.
Oh, right. I guess I've always just associated that spot with the charge beam and surrounding stuff. And oh boy, Nidorific falling down into the... Was that thing called again? A Deborah? Decora.
Yeah, in the vanilla game it teaches you how to Shine Spark.
But in Randomizer, it's pretty much there to waste your time.
Pretty much. The Kickaster's heading for his wave checks. Maniacal's heading through the 3-room gauntlet to Bubble Mountain. Ossie on his way back out of...
There is one check that Ossie can do that Astor could not. The sine wave room.
Right. So if there's something there, then it's going to be a long time before Astor gets back to it.
Yeah, although Ossie is going around the back way, gets the gate glitch. I think that was only the 3rd try. Nicely done.
Yeah, my guess would be he's not confident in his ability to do the short charge required to break the speed booster blocks down. Wait a minute. He has more power. He could just power bomb to get the runway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so no idea why he's going around the back. But, something to ask him if he comes in for an interview when we're done here.
Maybe doing a short charge to get Indiana Jones from this side?
Yep.
Like so. And, well, sees it's the grapple beam. We'll probably want to get that. Well, no, he's...
Maybe. Oh, he might just be clearing the... Oh, he's clearing the debris. Yeah. There we go.
All right, and Astor checking the high jump spots. What do we have here?
Blue mail.
Blue mail, nice.
Meantime, we're going to see what Ossie finds in Sine Wave.
And Cane of Burna for Astor.
That puts Spike Cave in logic once we've got access. Once we've got access there.
And it was super missiles at Sine Wave.
Oh, looks like Aster's heading up into Brinstar toward the Meridia connection. Probably he's gonna head for Kraid now.
Probably. It's right there. You can do it. You're gonna have to do it eventually anyway. Might as well do it now. I've never seen anyone make that jump that way before.
Yeah, interesting strat. I believe there are 3 items here. One in this next room, one behind Kraid, and one behind the door Kraid unlocks when he dies.
Yeah, well, they're supers.
Super missiles are always welcome, especially because you never know when the beams are going to show up.
Yeah.
Plasma beam
The fact that they have charge beam does help a lot, but yeah, without, at the very least, Spazer, that's charge beam by itself is only going to do so much.
I believe charge beam shot on its own is 60 damage. Charge and Spazer is 100. And then I know charge Ice Wave Spazer is 300, which is the same as a super missile.
Alright, so let's see if we can get the quick kill for Asder. Yes!
Very clean.
And just $20.
The Terrific heading down Frog Speedway.
Ooh, Aussie doing a ice beam check.
This could definitely be something. Looks like Nidoриfic is weighing his options.
Nidoриfic still does not have Morph Balls. He needs to head over to Bubble Mountain to get that. And Ice Beam has the shovel. Hello, Fetch Quest. How are you doing today?
I am fine, thank you. How are you doing?
It
looks like Asder is going to head toward the Red Tower. Got the Spazer location he can check here.
And if he heads back towards Big Pink, can check some checks that we hadn't seen, basically the Charge Beam, what was that, Waterway? Or am I thinking?
Charge Beam, Waterway, Green Hill Zone, and he can clean out Retro Brand.
Not to mention, there's also the Wave Gate glitch that Azure might opt to do.
Yeah, now the Wave Gate glitch takes advantage of the way super missiles accelerate. By firing it from just the right spot, you can fire it. You can fire it so it flies through the gate and opens it from the wrong side. That is one of the tricks that is expected on the hard logic.
Is Alpha Supers also expected?
Oh, Sports Phone Supers, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, that is also expected on the hard logic. Yeah, that trick is a similar concept. As they're going for a very tight short charge here. Now here's what he's doing. While you're holding the run button, the variable Samus's speed will steadily increase, but the variable that checks if you have speed echoes only increments on a specific frame of the running animation. So you stutter your movement and tap the run button around that magic frame to get the Shine Spark charge in a shorter runway.
Yeah, but apparently even then, the amount of space you have for this particular one is very... You have, like, zero room for error on this. Then looks like
this one Aster's doing this about as tight as it gets, and in the meantime, Aussie bought the Big Kraid DLC.
but still makes pretty quick work of him.
He got it!
Wow, nicely done.
Gorgeous. He's got plenty. If you want to head for X-ray, yeah, he's got plenty of energy to tank the spikes.
Oh yeah, 8 energy.
Oh, never mind. He doesn't even have to. He's got grappling beam. I always forget that.
Yeah. And regarding that short charge, as skilled as Asder is at this game, it says something when even he has to take multiple tries to get a certain trick done. And there's the fire rod.
Oh, that's the fire rod? Hang on.
So that would had to have been the ice rod at Spectacle Rock then. I think it's just from watching the streams like this, I always seem to get those mixed up because I can never tell whether it's ice rod or fire rod half the time. It always feels like it's just me on that.
Yeah. Meantime, we got a map check from Nidorefic in the Dark World. We had the red crystals at Thieves Town and Misery Mire, and the red pendant at Skull Woods.
Okay.
Okay, so that's Ice Rod on top of Spectacle Rock then, and we need that, so we need Mirror.
Well, the fact that Swamp is a crystal means we need the mirror anyway, so.
Right.
Ooh, and as they're getting up Red Tower, we'll be checking power bomb checks from the looks of it.
Yeah, alpha power bombs and beta power bombs.
Okay, so that was the alpha term. Okay. Question in chat regarding Morph Ball. Morph Ball was near Bubble Mountain before Upper Norfair Reserve. Nidorefic has yet to go in that direction, unfortunately.
Looks like Nidorefic's debating if a bunny revive would work. Beta power bombs is super missiles.
And Aussie heading for X-ray. I wonder if any of our runs would feel weird doing places like this the intended way.
Yeah, there are so many faster strats than doing it the intended way. It is a little strange to see it done the way the devs intended.
Oh boy, I think Nidorefic might be lost.
Ooh, there's our moon pearl at the moat.
Wow. Okay. Is that here? I'll just go towards Wreck Ship. Oh, hello, Moon Pearl. Yeah, but I'm worried that Nidorefic might be at a loss of where to go at this point.
Heart container at the bottom of the ocean for Asder. Monaco's heading out the Crocomire escape, so he'll get his sword there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, whiffed the grapple release. Asder shines first across the ocean. Ossie's heading up Red Tower. Alrighty, looks like Nidorefic is back into Super Metroid. This is the right decision, we know.
Yes.
As we're into the Super Metroid harmless hellway, just a big 20 there.
Harmless for the moment.
Yeah. Well, the moment's all that's relevant because you're never going to go back there after you turn the ship on.
Right. Ooh, Nidorefic shine sparking up to what would the? Ooh, okay. I thought he was going to be checking the power bomb spot, but no, he's opening the way to the gauntlet.
He can't open that. He doesn't. He can't morph and lay a power bomb. Ooh. Meantime, Azure is fighting Fantoon, who opened his eye quickly, but then closed it just as quickly. He can move in a fast, medium, or slow pattern before opening the eye, and then close it quickly, medium, or slowly.
Right, I forgot that there was a power bomb door there. At the,
And right there, you saw Aster going for Doppler strats. Now, Fantoon takes 10 frames to close his eye once he's taken enough damage, and you can fire your missiles once every 10 frames. So if you move toward him while you're firing, and hit him more often than every 10 frames, you can stomach his eye open. Meantime, Aster's got him down. And then the Gauntlet Chozo is a missile, which is worthless.
And Aussie finding that Moon Pearl.
Monaco going to see his first shield upgrade at Crumble Tower. He's not going to bother.
Yeah, shields. Unless there was somehow a way to get the mirror shield, like, first thing, our runners probably aren't going to be going out of their way to get those.
Aussie sees a heart piece in the middle of the ocean. He's probably not going to waste time getting that once he loops up and around.
Nah, we have plenty. I think we have plenty of health on the Link to the Past side at this point.
And the Super Metroid side too, come to think of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there are the flippers.
Very nice.
Oh yes.
Yeah, those were always going to be required once we saw that swamp was a crystal.
Ice Palace too.
Right. You can fake flipper to Ice Palace though, although the logic doesn't expect that.
Yeah, exactly. Technically, that would have put Waterfall Cave in logic too, though we already know that that's nothing.
Right. Oh my! Asder is noping out. He's not going to check the top of the ship.
Or, okay, interesting decision.
Okay, so if Aussie full clears Red Ship and finds something, he's gonna have a big advantage over Asder.
Yeah. Kind of curious on this as to why Asder's not checking the upper part. I mean, with speed boost, you can pretty much you can full clear the whole place.
Right.
So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items that's being orphaned there.
Let me think. Attic, top of the sky, gravity suit, pre-gravity, destructible Chozo, wreck ship reserve. So yeah, 5.
He finds an energy tank at the launch site power bombs. And Eaterific is at Bubble Mountain. He is in the right place. Now he just has to get to the top.
Gonna be tricky. He doesn't have high jump, and he also doesn't have he didn't get the grapple beam.
Ooh, Asder doing a morph charge to get down to the morph ball bomb spot. Nicely, interesting little move there.
Aussie takes down Fantoon. You saw him fire a super missile right at the end there. Fantoon actually takes double damage from supers, but if a super missile hits him and doesn't kill him, it'll enrage him, and he'll sit at the top center of the screen and send out 9 or 10 waves of the eyeball flames. It wastes about 40 seconds.
So Asder going through Terminator might be he's checking to see what's at the end of the gauntlet. See if there's anything worthwhile, and I saw a heart piece on the left. I didn't see what was on the right.
I think I saw gravity suit on the left, and I saw on the right I saw more ball bombs.
Okay, so apparently there was more ball bombs on the right side. I was pretty sure I saw it was a heart piece on the left.
I swear it looked like gravity suit. Meantime, Asher is heading off to check Omega Missiles, which is the last item you pick up in 100% item collection speedruns. And it's the high jump.
And
It's very nice.
Yeah, not a bad item to find.
Yeah, high jump is one of those quality of life items you don't realize how helpful it is until you try playing without it.
So chat confirming that it was a heart piece on the left side at the end of Gauntlet.
Alrighty, my mistake.
Well, hey, I caught what was on the left, you caught what was on the right. Between the two of us, we got it right.
That's fair. As we're going for a shine spark up the shaft here to see what we got, see if it's anything.
A bit harder to do without Ice Beam, and there's the cape. So between our runners, we have the cape and the Cane of Burna, so that's really putting Spike. Well, would that put? No, I don't even think they. Yeah, with Moon Pearl, yeah, they can get to Spike Cave right now. Yeah.
Medako's heading for the Misery Mire area.
And Aussie found the fourth sword.
Oh, much better Wreckship Reserve. Wreckship Energy Tank. But yeah, that's where he's coming from.
And I did not see what Asder found beneath Mother Brain.
I did not see either. See, Aussie did a little trick where he crouched before he jumped to get a little extra height. The boost from that is negligible in Super Metroid. You might see Asder do it a couple of times because he also runs Super Metroid Redesign and you get more of a boost from it there. Looks like
Maniacal heading into Golden Chorizo.
Gold Chorizo Missiles is a super missile pack. And let's see what Gold Chorizo Supers is. Energy Tank. And it looks like, yeah, Maniacal's going to reset because that wasn't worth it.
No. And take a warp back to the ship along the way.
Right.
And Asder finding that flute.
Beta Missiles is a heart piece. And Asder's heading on up to Billy Mays.
Now, this is our first check of Billy Mays. Let's see what we got. We start off with the Ice Beam, but wait, there's more, and it's missiles. But the Ice Beam is definitely a nice thing to find.
Yeah, it increases your beam damage, and it also makes Torian much faster, because you have to freeze the Metroids there before you can damage them with missiles or a super.
Yeah. And it's definitely easier than having to use power bombs to do it. Meanwhile,
right.
Aussie found, I believe that was 50 rupees in the missiles in the sky.
Meantime, there's one more item here in Retro Brain Astor can check, and it's...
Ooh, our first bottle. Our first bottle.
And that'll unlock Sick Kid in Kakariko Town, right?
Yes.
Here, have a bee. Get better.
And Aussie going for a bit of bowling.
Yeah, that'll give him about a 30-second break. He can catch his breath, wipe his hands, take a drink, maybe even check his Tinder.
Question in chat. This is on hard logic. And Maniacal going through escape will be finding those morph ball bombs, which technically aren't. I don't think they're technically required, but they're definitely a nice bit of convenience, so you're not having to keep tabs on your power bomb count.
Destructible Chozo is $5. And Wreckship Reserve is plus 10 bombs.
So I think the best thing we saw on the back end of Wreck Ship was that fourth sword, I believe.
Yeah, that's all I noticed.
He walked right through that item there. What?
Huh?
Because he shot the item orb that turned into 50 rupees, and he walked right through it without picking it up.
Huh.
Guess he just went through it right in that transition phase, I guess, or something.
Meantime, Asher's at the Etikun room to help little creatures to show you how to wall jump, and he gets super missiles for his trouble.
And Maniacal, seeing what's behind the reserve, and it's just some ammo.
Nope. All of them except Nidourific have 30 or more super missiles. That's enough to fight and kill Ridley.
And a question in chat, is Asdr still on Fighter Sword? Yes. We know where all 4 swords are. The one that Asdr got, I believe, was the one at... Was that the one at Mini Moldrum Cave?
Yes.
I think that's where that... And the other 3 are at the library, the Crocomire Escape, and the Wreck Ship Reserve. And Asdr...
The Wreck Ship Energy Tank.
Energy Tango, right. And Asdr knows about the one at Crocomire, presumably knows about the one at the library, and never checked that half of Wreck Ships. If he's comfortable going through things with Fighter Sword, all power to him.
Well, he's not... Yeah, he did not miss out on a whole bunch by not doing the top of the Wreck Ship, so we'll see if that decision it turned out to be a good thing or a bad thing for him in the long run.
Yeah, because if we're still looking for that one last item or something, Asdr might think there might be something there and head back. At least with Aussie, he knows he's already been through there, so he doesn't have to worry about it. And Asdr is heading back into Link to the Past. So with Titan's Mitt, Moon Pearl, Flute, and Flippers, where is he going to go? Did he get the shovel out of from Ice Beam?
No, I don't think he did.
Nah, he's going right past the grove. So.
Oh, he's heading to the library to get his sword.
Ah, yes. So at the very least, he'll have the Master Sword.
Meantime, Maniacal is over at Spore Spawn Supers, and it's just 3 bombs. Asher's about to free the duck.
Taking a stop at the sick kid first. There's
Boomerang.
The blue boomerang. And Maniacal heading for the Wave Gate. And did he get it first try? Yes, he did. Nice.
Very nice.
Nicely did. Question in chat regarding the red sword. In game, it's called the Tempered Sword. Some people call it Bacon. And so Asdr heading into the Dark World. See what direction he goes. The fact that Skull Woods is a pendant might put some runners off, even with the fire rod.
Chest game gets us a pack of supers.
Can never have too many of those.
and Azure is going to go right for Thieves Town.
Ooh,
Maniacal taking
Maniacal.
the waterway. It's $20.
And I did not see what was at the charge beam spot.
I missed it too.
Ooh, the big key right away in Thieves Town.
I believe I've heard that due to the door layout, the big key has to be in the front 4 chests.
Yes. Oh, that was actually the second chest that he opened. I didn't see what was in the first one. When you have 4 runners in 4 very different locations, it can be hard to keep track of it all.
That's why I'm here too.
Mm-hmm. And our wonderful trackers, Link Force and Mind of Me as well, keeping the things straight.
And as long as we're giving shout-outs, let's give a shout-out to Total, the man behind the code logic that makes this work.
And according to Link Force, it was a map in the first chest. So we've seen the map and the compass already. So the big chest will have an item in it, and unless it's the small key, unless it's key locked itself or something.
Yes, the small key can lock itself inside the big chest.
So I guess Asder's hoping not to see that small key then, since we don't have the hammer yet.
Indeed.
Needorific getting that tempered sword. Oh, apparently it was powder at charge beam.
Oh.
That's an interesting find. Half fetch quest, half convenience.
Well, once we have the hammer, that'll give us access to the magic bat.
Or the mirror. The mirror would work too.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Maniacal getting the ice beam out of Billy Mays.
Heading back up the criteria elevator.
Alright, what's in the maintenance cell? Power bombs.
I don't think there are any chests left, and if I remember what I've read correctly, blind cannot drop a key, so that means the last item is on blind.
Fair enough. So that means our last item is on blind.
And let's see what pun the pun master has for us.
Yeah, the beach. That went so fast I couldn't read all the whole thing.
I'm not sure I can make it.
Ah, yes.
And real quick, do you want to hear something tasteless?
Okay.
Water.
As they're taking out blind, and that is the bug net. And Needorific getting the quick kill on Crate.
And yep, Aussie confirming for us that powder was a charge beam. So Lazar is on 10 hearts blue mail. I'd say he's pretty much set for the rest of the game.
Pretty much, yeah. Got the C-shaped house. 20 bucks. Still have a couple more checks that we can do in Village of Outcasts. We have the Bombable Hut. We have the Digging Game. We can do the Blacksmith Chain. That will require a bit of jumping through hoops to do it, though.
Aussie is now into Retro Brain as Maniacal's checking the bomb Torizo. As they're heading over to the Digging Game.
And
10
it's a hard
digs for a heart. Not terrible, but not exactly relevant at this point. And
Nah,
you'll know
it's
Maniacal
definitely...
just had to. You'll know Maniacal just had to fight the bomb Torizo because the trigger for that fight is actually having the morph ball bombs collected.
Yep, didn't matter where it was, just as long as you had it.
Haunted Grove gets us a pack of supers.
And looks like we might be seeing a Hype Cave check in a moment.
Hype or gripe? Enemies trolling the crap out of Aster.
Oh yeah, they're not giving him an ounce, giving him an inch. So we got a heart piece, single rupee, power bombs, heart piece, and bombs. Wah wah.
I would rate that. That's not even an F. That's like a G.
Yes, remaking the grading system from scratch because the Hype Cave was that bad.
Alrighty, what's Aster got on his mind? Any idea? Oh, he could be heading to Catfish, maybe?
That may be, but if he's heading this way, could he be going to Meridia?
Yeah, the cross game portal is in this area, right?
Yes.
Oh, he's got the grappling beam. I think he's got grapple, he's got high jump. I think he's got the tools to backdoor to Dragon.
Huh. This is going to be an interesting little sequence of events here. And question in chat, no, we have not seen the lamp yet. Or the hammer. So with the ice beam, that does put Dragon in logic with the Metroid skip, if I'm not mistaken.
But Dragon's in logic by coming to the cross game portal anyway. That doesn't require the Metroid skip.
Oh, okay. I thought I forgot the layout of things, I guess.
Yeah, we're only 2 or 3 rooms away from Dragon at where Astor is right now.
I'm not used to going to taking that route, I guess.
Right, but yeah, this is past the point where he would need to do the Metroid clip.
Right, and also past Batoon, yeah.
Right, because the room before Batoon is where you do it.
Although I don't believe Astor has the Morph Ball bomb, so getting out of the Dragon's room might be a thing. Unless he can do like Blue Suit or something, some other tricks that I'm not entirely familiar on how to do. Putting that grappling beam to good effect, though. Wow.
Yeah, there's the grappling beam spring ball jump trick to escape from Dragon's room. Although after that, there's needing to escape from the pre-Dragon room. That I'm not sure how he'll do.
Yeah, because Astor doesn't. We don't have Spring Ball yet, so he's doing all this stuff without it. There we go.
And he's going to make a safety save here just in case. Just in case. Okay, he's unequipping his various suit. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know exactly what he's going to do.
Enlighten us.
If Dragon grabs you out of a crystal flash, it gives you a Shine Spark suit. So that she's gonna let the Metroids drain him. Then he's gonna start off the fight by letting Dragon grab him, like by get hit by the goo, crystal flash, get grabbed out of it by Dragon, and then kill Dragon. Use the grapple jump that he was using in the Coliseum to get out, and then use that Shine Spark to get out of the pre-Dragon room.
Meanwhile, there was just a reserve tank at the pre-Dragon.
Now, keep a close eye on the Evers, because one of them will spell out the words Keiko Love in English cursive as a nod to a girl whom the developer who snuck that in was dating while he was working on Super Metroid.
Alright, so there's the Crystal Flash. There's the grab.
And Esther now has a free Shine Spark.
Though I'm presuming that he has to be very careful with his movements so that he doesn't set off that Shine Spark.
Indeed. And okay. I see what he did there. He initiated the Shine Spark, got grabbed out of that, and now that'll trigger the actual blue suit glitch when Dragon dies here, which he's going to do by grappling onto the broken turret and letting the electricity flow through him and into Dragon. He doesn't have the color, but you can see he has speed echoes. The reason that works is because when Dragon dies, Samus is forced to a standing position, so that you can't softlock if you do what Aster did and kill him with the grapple beam strat. That also means that speed-related variables are not cleared properly, so the game thinks he's constantly at full running speed, even though he's walking.
Just 20 rupees, but that's another boss kill for Azander. Now he just has to get out. Ooh, and Maniacal is on Dark World Death Mountain at the Hookshot Cave. I only just noticed that now.
And we were so busy watching Azur's insanity.
Right, yeah. And there's the bow. Oh my, that's huge. And screw attack. Oh man.
Yeah, that is a pretty stacked hook. And Azur is out.
Yep, and I presume that Maniacal also checked Super Bunny, but I did not see what was there. And
Azur has escaped. Very clean, very good.
Oh, yes. And we do have the medallion information for both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock at this point. Misery Mire is Ether, Turtle Rock is Bombos, though we don't have any of the medallions yet. And, apparently it was Hammer and Super Bunny. Holy cow. Dark World Death Mountain is the place to be.
Meantime, Maniacal's checking Spike K for just a heart piece.
And Nidorific trying to get to Wreck Ship E-Tank. And gets through it. Nice.
Yeah, that's the room where the Sponge Bath strats come from.
Oh, okay. That was Sponge Bath. Okay. I knew I had heard that name somewhere. I just couldn't remember which room that was referring to.
It looks like Azur's going to go the long way out of Meridia, maybe get some item checks in.
Yeah, there's still a few items left in Meridia, though. And, Maniacal checking Magic Bat. And apparently the mirror was somewhere. Oh, apparently mirror must be at the... Yeah, it's at Bumper Cave, the Bumper Cave ledge on Aussie's side.
Oh, wow.
And apparently Magic Bat had a power bomb pack, if I saw it correctly.
You did.
Okay, so we're definitely finding some of the big stuff now. So what else is there to find, really? Would the gravity suit even be required in hard mode logic?
Gravityless Meridia is a thing that can be required by the logic. I'm not sure how much of it is actually expected.
Hmm.
As they're using enemies as platforms, going for heading up to the beach.
And I believe there's 3 items up there to check.
Yeah, there's
Actually, no, actually 4, isn't it? Or no, there's 3.
I think it's 3. There's 1 in the beach and 2 in the watering hole.
Right, yeah.
Aster is, yeah. This is the kind of stuff you tune into Aster's stream for. This crazy Super Metroid stuff.
Oh, yeah. And there's another pack of power bombs. Though I noticed that Asder looks to be at, is that 50 supers right now?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
That is almost enough to take on Mother Brain and win. Actually, combined with his missiles, it is enough to take her on and win. Oh, Azur's got to be real careful. He's got 40 health and no reserves.
And I don't... Did he save after doing Dragon?
He did.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. At least it won't set him... You won't lose that much. And just a single arrow and a bomb expansion.
Okay, so he could Crystal Flash here.
But
Probably will.
he's not.
Or, oh my gosh, he's really pushing his luck.
Mm-hmm.
Meantime, Ossie's got the lunchbox, is taking it down toward K45.
Can't take the chest in with you, though. And it's another pack of power bombs as Maniacal heads into Thieves Town. So, for items for Go mode, there's the Ice Rod that we know where that is. That's on Spectacle Rock. There's Ether and Bombos for our Misery Mire and Turtle Rock access. What else is there that would be required?
No, I think that might be it.
So we're basically 2 items away from no mode then.
Indeed. As they're going for some very difficult strats to check the sand pit here.
Still on low health, mind.
Ooh, this sequence of wall jumps is a pain in the butt.
Ooh, yeah, I can imagine. Because you probably only have just frames to get when you're out of the water. And it was a single rupee, and I didn't see what was on the other side. And it's an E-Tank.
He might go... Okay, no, he's resetting.
Presumably saving before... Probably saved before checking that one. We'll probably check the other sand pit.
Oh no, he's back at Dragon. But
Well,
he saved after Dragon, so...
Yes, just from looking at the map, yes.
Okay, so anyone's guess where he goes from here?
Probably checking the other sand pit on his way out of Meridia, perhaps. Maybe check Mama Turtle on the way out? Yeah, comment in chat as I say it regarding Sulis Meridia. I want to say I've actually done Sulis Meridia. I would rather not have to do it again.
I've done it, but I was also safe stating like a jerk. And Aster's just gonna head on out of Meridia and hope there's nothing left where he didn't look.
Well, his instinct was right regarding Rex ship. Let's see if it holds true for Meridia as well.
Right.
All right, Nazi heading up Dark Death Mountain will be getting the hammer and bow soon. With the mirror, it can also knock out Tower of Hera as well. And with the book, can also read the Ether Tablet and get Ice Rod and all sorts of other good stuff. And I'm just looking at Nidorific's tracker. He hasn't been to Escape, has he?
I don't think he has.
No, still on one glove. But it looks like he is heading towards for Gauntlet. Does have Morph Ball, so at least he's able to get to the end and get the Morph Ball bombs, which is nice. And meanwhile, Asder is heading for Palace of Darkness.
Unfortunately, he will not be able to full clear it because of the Igor statue that you have to shoot with the bow.
Not to mention needing the hammer as well.
Right.
In fact, he might be stuck after the first check because we might be bow locked here. All right, so what do we have at the Ether Tablet? Gravity suit.
Very nice.
Okay, that's a nice find. Fortunately, Maniacal did not have the mirror. I don't believe he had the mirror at the time when he went up there, so I wasn't able to check that. Did you just hear Grav at Ether? Yes, you did. And apparently the big key is in the basement of Hera. And apparently Aussie had already found Spazer in Tower of Hera as well. I missed that.
I saw it. It was in the chest on that middle chest on the first floor.
Oh, okay. And so Asder found a small key in that first chest and is able to progress farther. Remember, we still don't have the lamp. So this is all going to be dark rooms in here.
Where in the world could it be? Is it in here? Is there anywhere in here where the lamp could logically be?
The question is, are dark rooms in logic? No, they are not. Hard mode really only affects Super Metroid logic. Anything that would normally not be in logic in Link to the Past is still not in logic. And
Meantime, Oxy's about to fight Trolldorm.
With the golden sword, it'll be 2 hits done.
And a shield upgrade.
It's a shield. As they're making his way through the dark maze. I believe that's the dark maze.
Did we ever manage to put Speed Booster back in logic?
Yes, with the flute.
Okay. Because Speed Booster led to Cape, which led to Mirror, so...
And there's the red tunic. And as they're heading into the mire area, we weren't able to see what these items were before, since it took us a while to find the Moon Pearl. Although I think we did see what these items were, I think. Or maybe I'm mistaken.
Someone did this. I can't remember who.
Oh, but there's a bottle.
And then Maniacal just checked the Bombos tablet. That was a pack of missiles.
Mm-hmm. And Ossie's in the mire area as well.
Alright, Astor is fighting the bomb Torizo, and I think he's doing it so he's got a runway to Shine Spark upper attack room to continue through Lower Norfair. Astor gets the perfect positioning so that he's undisputably safe for this fight.
Mm-hmm. And Nidorific getting to the Billy Mays room, getting that ice beam.
Astor gets that energy tank at the perfect time, so he's got full up on energy now.
And Maniacal heading back up Death Mountain, getting that ice rod.
And he's gonna get his gravity shoot off the ether tablet.
Will definitely make going through Meridia a lot easier.
Indeed. Astor Shine Sparks on through fast pillars, and it's now up to the worst room in the game. So named because it's a pain in the butt to do efficiently in any category except 100% item collection. But Astor just makes it look like it's absolutely nothing.
Wow. Although, like with I'll say Maniacal having the screw attack will definitely have an easier time with it, though.
Mickey Mouse room is missiles. Ooh, very close. Astor almost fell through their combo blocks and had to loop back around.
And Aussie is heading into Lower Norfair as well.
Astor moving on through the amphitheater, I believe this room is. Aussie probably I'd say 10, 20 seconds behind what Elma's doing, maybe 30.
Yeah, but it's really hard to say who's definitively in the lead, just because everybody's been in so many different places and no one person is in go mode yet.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to talk about the lead. I was just trying to talk about the fact that he is following right behind what Aster is doing.
Right, yeah. In what they're doing currently, yes.
Exactly.
That's 20
Power Bomb's
rupees.
shame is $20.
Yeah, question in chat.
Aster
Gravity
goes to
suit.
the spike platform.
Yeah, go ahead.
What you saw Aster do in the room right there, that's called K-going. You fell through the platform by rolling into morph right as he landed. And I think said someone in chat asked about.
Gravity suit was at. Yeah, there was a question in chat about where it was.
Right. Yeah, that was at the ether tablet.
Yeah, the question did. Yeah, Aussie did check. Pretty sure Aussie did check Hookshot Cave. So yeah, it should have the bow. Meanwhile, Maniacal finishing off Tower of Hera.
Aster using the grappling beam to farm the bugs for probably pretty super missile count, which will be enough to exactly kill Ridley.
Right. Yeah, good.
I mean,
he's
Aster using a special beam attack. I haven't seen that in a while. That functions by having charge beam and special beam attacks function by having charge beam and one other beam equipped. You switch to power bombs, charge your beam, and then it'll consume a power bomb and do something special. With the ice beam, it does those little shield projectiles you saw.
Yeah, the one that I'm more used to seeing is X Factor with that uses wave beam.
Right, yeah. Projectiles do as much damage as a super missile.
And wow, they both Aussie and Asder killing Ridley pretty much at that same time.
That's a sight. And Ridley was just hiding a +5 bomb capacity. You were talking about the X Factor attack. That used to be how Speedrun before the route changed and they started doing Fantoon. Got Maniacal trying to line up a jump to get out of this area. Ooh, that close, and then he got it. Holy moly!
Who got what now?
Maniacal just got a very tight jump out of the doorway leading to the cross-game transition to out of the...
Oh, wow.
Binoculars as Astor and Oxy are both heading back up and out of Lower North here. There's still a couple items the two of them can check on the way. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, it can't be go moding areas yet.
Firefleet E-Tank is 10 missiles.
And Aussie and Asder almost in sync, leaving North.
Yeah, they're both checking that little power bomb nook past the morph ball maze. It's just missiles. So there are two left. The Hoarder Ruby Special in this room, and then the Franker Z missiles in the next.
That one's 20 rupees. And just another missile.
Yeah, as you're watching this, Astor and Ozzy are kind of trading back and forth who's in the front. But you see Ozzy making up a lot of time with that screw attack and that gravity suit, neither of which Astor has.
Right. Now, my question at the moment is, on the way out, will Asder take the lower route, maybe go through Crocomire Escape on the way out and get Tempered Sword? Or is he just comfortable just beating Ganon with Master Sword of Silvers?
Looks like that might be what he's doing. He might also be heading back to Crocomire to check sign.
Ah, yeah, possibly. You always hate when you have to return to an area for one check.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lassie is back in Link to the Past. And might be heading for Pod, which he will be able to full clear, even if it's not in logic without the lamp.
Where in the world is that thing, anyway?
I haven't really checked to see. I don't really remember what has or hasn't been checked. I'm not debating whether or not they need the lamp. I'm just saying that the in-game logic says that you need it to get through, like, the Eastern and Palace of Darkness.
Meantime, Astor did indeed go through the Crocomire Escape, so he's got his Tempered Sword now.
Yeah, a little brief diversion. Ah, and is checking Ice Beam as well.
Yeah, Monocle is now taking Ridley. He's going to take the bump capacity up.
So Aussie with the bow is able to check the bow lock side of Pod, but decides not to go there just yet.
Monocle gets a very nice speedball out of Wasteland.
So, and Asder heading up Dark Death Mountain will definitely like what he sees. And Nidorific heading up Dark Death Mountain as well. So, our Bowlock side, we have 100 rupees and a company. Oh, apparently Nidorific does have the mitts. Apparently, he did go through escape. We just didn't realize it.
Huh.
Yeah, as they're getting that hammer and bow, which pretty much screams go to Pod now. Although I will say again, where is that lamp? Well, They do have the means of clearing Skull Woods, which is a pendant. Could be there. Yeah, Pod didn't really have too much in it. But at least Aussie is they would be able to full clear it.
Looks like he's there in the dark maze too.
Well, if you know how it's laid out, it's not really that hard. It's just that half the time you can't see what's in the chest when you open it.
Gotcha.
And Maniacal is heading into Meridia.
So we'll see what's in the front here.
Yeah, with gravity suit, screw attack. Maniacal should make quick work of this. And there's Ether.
Ooh,
There's
Elm's not going to come back to that for a while.
Ooh, boy, yeah. That's going to be... That's good.
And yeah, okay, so yeah, Elm... That is not good at all. Yeah, gravity suit is mandatory then because you can't charge a shine spark without gravity suit underwater.
Right. Yeah.
Terrific getting his sick kid check in. Okay, now if memory serves, the only thing Astor didn't check was that and Mama Turtle. And Mama Turtle, right sandpit, shack duel.
And there's a bomb. And the item in the wall. I think that's plasma. Yes.
There is. Very awesome.
Ooh, very nice. Charge, ice, plasma. There's some firepower right there. And Nitorific about to find the mirror at the
Bumper Ledge.
The Bumper Ledge, yeah.
Yeah, charge ice and plasma is 600 damage a shot, which is twice as much as the super missile. If we find wave beam for the trifecta, that's 900 damage a shot.
And Asder taking advantage of lighting the torch to make that turtle room easier.
Is that where Aussie is right now?
I believe so, yes. Deciding to just go without, but makes it through.
And Helmasaur King is 17 whacks to the noggin with the hammer to break his mask.
And then one silver arrow, and there you go.
Good night.
Oh, Aussie is out of magic. That's why he wouldn't have been able to light the torches.
Right.
And Helmosaur has an E-Tank, but also has a crystal.
Or 2 slashes with the butter sword. Creamy golden butter.
Yeah, that works too. Ooh, Maniacal, finding a heart piece, and supers. I forget what this one's called.
This is the aqueduct.
That's the aqueduct, okay. So many water-termed rooms. It can be hard to tell them apart sometimes. And Asder heading for Ice Palace. Has the means of clearing it out.
Maniacal hard resetting to spawn back in Super Metroid. Oh no, he's resetting to his save.
Right, after checking the left sandpit. Probably checking the right one before heading over to, or no, just heading up towards Batoon. Might check the right sandpit on the way out.
Also check Plasma Beam once he's beaten Dragon.
Right. And as they're finding, the first item in Ice Palace is a bottle of green potion.
Delicious Mountain Dew.
And Aussie heading up towards Catfish. Yeah, question, did Asder check Plasma? No, he did not. Alright, so what does our angry fish have today? 300 rupees. Must have felt bad after getting taught that life lesson from Zora, which Aussie is about to check now, I believe. Yeah, he didn't have the money last time. Asder did.
Right.
Aussie might wish he had kept those 300 rupees, but oh well. You know, Maniacal in the Dragon fight is a lot better equipped than Asder was. Let's see what strategy Maniacal decides to use here.
It's too bad he doesn't have the X-ray scope, otherwise we could get some microwave shrimp going on.
Well, he's using the speed boost strats instead. The Shine Sparks.
Right, yeah. Shine Sparks can do, if under ideal circumstances, you can do 20 Dragon with a Shine Spark. And I believe in health. They're 6,000 or 9,000.
And Aussie heading back into the Dark World.
Yeah, you see there?
Probably heading for Thieves' Town.
Right. Now you see, Dragon, those plasma shots were passing right through Dragon. He's not flagged to stop them because you're never meant to have it for him, because the trigger to unlock the door leading to Plasma Beam is Dragon dying. Now the X-ray scope pauses the game, but invincibility timers keep running down. So the microwave strat involves firing a shot into him, activating the X-ray to run the invincibility, let it go, use it again so it hits him again, and so on.
And I believe that same strategy is often used against Fantoon, yes?
It can be. Against Fantoon, it's a little trickier. You have to knock him with a missile to get him to start flying around before you can do it. And to anyone who might not be as technically inclined, it's the Yellow Devil pause trick from Mega Man.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and Maniacal's not checking Plasma Beam. He's gonna take the warp back to Link to the Past. So that's Plasma and the right sandpit being left behind there.
As well as Shack Tool, although I'm not sure how easy it would be to get there with what he has, because Space Jump is almost mandatory for it.
Yeah, to get through those the sand waterfalls, yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm sure it's possible. It's just not an easy thing. And for one really, really out-of-the-way check, it's probably not worth the time sink right now. But he's heading into Misery Mire. He has Ether. He has the means. As long as he's willing to go through the Dark Room at the end. And I was not really paying attention to Asder going through Ice Palace. If he had found anything of relevance, I did not see what it was.
I
But
don't
he
see
is
anything new lit up on his tracker, so...
No. He is at Cold Stare. Putting that green potion to good use that he found right there in Mice Palace.
Doesn't quite get grouping strats on the Cold Stare Puffs, but it's having a good fight. There's 1 and 2 down, and 3. Very nice.
And it's a missile pack. But that's also a crystal. That's Asder's third crystal. So that's 4 bosses on the Super Metroid side and 3 crystals for Asder. So on the boss front, I think Asder definitely does have the advantage, but until he finds Gravity Suit and goes back to Main Street, he might be in trouble.
Where did we find Mir?
Mirror was at Bumper Ledge.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen progression there, or if I have, it's been so rare, I don't even think about it.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where you don't check it, and it turns out there's progression there, and you'll never not check it. Ooh.
Right.
Digging at the grove, and it's just missiles. Maniacal making his way through Misery Mire. Taking another lovely cutscene break. As Aussie gets their third crystal as well. And it's just the bomb expansion there. And there's the big key. I believe there are 2 items in Misery Mire. I don't know if he got either one yet.
Well, Asher's got his gravity suit now.
Ah, good.
Only problem is, how long does it take him to go back to Meridia?
Well, he still has places to go at this point, so it may take him a while, but at least he's making progress elsewhere.
Good point.
And Maniacal heading back towards Vitreous.
Looks like Osley real soon. Like right now.
Ooh, and Aussie heading into setting up for Swamp as Nidorific as well.
Interesting.
6 items to find here. A couple of checks really out of the way, so we'll see what we find here. They both, since both of them have everything they need to full clear this place.
First chest gives us power bombs. It's 1 prize out of 6. Meantime, Maniacal's doing Misery Mire Dark Rooms, and Azure is setting up Temple of Hera.
I'm always impressed with people able to get through Misery Mire without a lamp. I would never even attempt it. The most I would ever do for dark rooms would be maybe turn. Alright, Maniacal heading up, about to face Vitreous with silver arrows, and 50 of them, no less. Yeah, this won't take long.
Fun fact, the big eyeball can actually survive a silver arrow, but not two.
Yep, one of the few enemies that can say that. Just has a small key and has a crystal, and that is both red crystals for Maniacal. So that puts Pyramid Fairy in logic now. And Aussie is skipping left side.
I think all we're looking for at this point, our no mode at least, is bombos.
Yeah, I believe so. Because space jump isn't technically required because there wasn't a mandatory item behind it by Golden Chorizo.
Right. Yeah, I call that guy the picky chozo.
Question, comment chat. Dig spot was checked. That's not where the lamp is.
Yeah, big spell was just missiles. Right, Aster is the Super Metroid. He's setting up the. He might be getting the Meridia checks in that he didn't do earlier.
Maybe. If so, that is huge. Well, OC facing off against Argus.
Yeah, Aster is definitely gonna see the ether here.
Well, yeah, definitely you'll see that.
Not even very nice short charge.
Yeah, he's just going right for it and is thankful that he did. And there was a
Pyramid Fairy is nothing. I think blueberries and $20. Although Pyramid Ledge,
I think Pyramid Ledge was checked. I think it was just like I don't think it was anything. Argus having a piece of heart, but that is another crystal for both OC and Nidorific. And Aussie is heading right back in. Nidorific is not. Interesting. Comment in chat. Aga 1 was never, and it was never even a factor here. All right, so based off of what we have, one of the items on this left side is going to be the big key.
the only thing you need big key for in Swamp is the big chest.
Right. And the fact that Aussie hadn't already opened it on the second trip tells me that he doesn't have it yet, which means that's one of the items on the left side.
Right, Aster is now checking the right sand pit.
Oh, assuming that the big key is not in said big chest.
And there's our lamp.
Oh, lamp is on the right sand pit. Okay, so that pretty much puts all that other stuff back in logic. Okay.
And we'll see if Aster's going to go for the Shack tool check. He's definitely got the tool.
He's not. No, he's not.
Huh, Maniacal never did Breck Ship?
No, hasn't even fought Fantoon, no. then there's Bombos! Bombos in left side swamp!
And that is our...
And then there's the big keep. But that's there's our no mode. Even when you factor in lamp, we know where that is now. So we are in commentator no mode. Now we just need to see which of our runners puts all the pieces together.
I'm keeping an eye on the SRL race channel. Everyone is still in this. Nobody's finished either.
Oh yeah. I would be amazed if anyone could finish one of these in 2 hours. Wait, it also has Quake too? I didn't even see that.
I think that might just...
Oh, we'll see when he opens his menu again. Not though. Goodness knows, Quake isn't really relevant to anything in this particular seed. Oh, that must have been what was in the Wampel's big chest. Yep, yes, Aussie does have it.
Doesn't have ether though. Oh, he hasn't been to Meridia yet.
No, he is not. But is he heading for Turtle Rock? Hey, he can clear it. That's definitely an interesting decision from my perspective, but hey, you have the means, why not?
What makes it interesting to you?
A lot of runners will want to save Turtle Rock for last, as far as crystal dungeons go, so that you can go from there straight to Ganon's Tower and save yourself an extra climb up Death Mountain.
Right.
Yep, in he goes. Like I said, he can full clear it, so at least he doesn't have to... Yeah, having to double dip T-Rock is never a pleasant feeling.
I've seen it happen recently, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, there are a decent number of items to be had in here.
It's 5 prizes, I think.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, the best things he can find would probably be Space Jump or Spring Ball or something, but hey, if it makes doing other checks easier, hey, why not? Oh yes, plus the one in Mimic Cave. Can't forget about Mimic Cave.
Meantime, Maniacal's heading ship. He is also abandoning the top. We know that's a play that'll pay off. And Nitorific is in Pod.
And Half Magic wouldn't be a bad thing to find either, especially since Aussie hasn't done Ice Palace yet. Having Half Magic against Cold Stare is very nice, especially when you already have Bombos too.
Right.
And we have the lovely, lovely Chain Chomps guarding some supers. And where? Okay, Maniacal must have done a reset. Or no, he actually does. He had just left Wreck Ship, right? I think Maniacal might be making a Swamp Palace play, which we know is where he needs to be. And with that, I think that would... Maniacal doesn't have. Where was Flippers again? I know Flippers was in Super Metroid somewhere.
Right side energy tank at Rock Shop. No, I think he got them. Yeah, he got them.
Yeah, because he wouldn't be able to do Swamp Palace without him. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, indeed. He does have Gold Sword. I thought maybe he noped out of it after seeing him, but no, he did keep him. All right, Mimic Cave for Aussie. It's just another heart piece, but dang, our Aussie's at Aussie and Nidorific are both at 16 hearts. Wow. And as they're finishing off Misery Mire, that's crystal number 5. And there's Wave Beam for Aussie in the big chest.
Alrighty, looks like I see Act Beam I was talking about for Dragon and for Mother Brain.
And I would think that Aussie would find Plasma on the way, depending on which direction he enters Meridia in.
Right.
Because if he feels he's in go mode, he might just take the back entrance from Link to the Past and get to Dragon quickly that way.
Right, like Aster did.
But he would still have to get in through the front way to get Ether at Main Street.
Oh, right. Go to the swamp, Aster. You know you want to.
But he can't, no mirror.
Oh, right. Terrific finishes off Helmus. Maniacal is heading on through swamp. Aussie's at Laser Bridge.
The map, 20 rupees. Missiles.
So this last one has to be the small key.
Yeah.
As they're gonna check the Pyramid Fairy.
Which we know is nothing, but Asner doesn't know that. Looks like Nidorific is heading for Ice Palace.
Maniacal's continuing on through swamp as Aussie is now.
Alright, let's see how Aussie does against Trinex. Heading behind with Gold Sword. Yeah, this is... that's a real quick fight. And Maniacal heading into the Argus fight. The big question here is, will Maniacal go back in? If he does, that's huge, and that should make him the first one to go and be in go mode. If he leaves Swamp Palace behind, ooh boy, that's not going to be pretty. You know, as they're doing a reset, heading back into Super Metroid.
I wonder if he's thinking just finish off Super Metroid and stop worrying about it.
Possibly. He does have all 4 bosses beaten, has access to Turian. Or maybe not.
What's he have in mind? Oh! He doesn't have magic cape. Maybe he does. Okay, what's he doing?
Oh, so maybe he did see... where was the cape? Yet now.
Chef Supers.
He had already passed that.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
But one thing I did see, Maniacal did not go back into Swamp. He's heading into Pod now.
Rip.
Oh boy.
Let's have to pay respects.
Aussie is going in the back way to head to take on Dragon real quick. Turning on Spazer. So pretty much all of our runners are missing some vital component to be in go mode. Aussie is missing Ether, which is at Main Street. Maniacal's missing Bombos to get in, which is in Left Side Swamp. Asder's missing that as well, and missing Mirror, which is at Bumper Ledge. And Neaterific is just chugging away at this seat as well. Hasn't progressed as far as the others, but is definitely making good progress. And we see us
carrying a sign up the stairs.
Maybe just want some reading material on the way to Dark World. And Aussie getting blue suit.
Yep.
Okay, doing a gravity jump to get all the way up there. Okay, nicely done.
Esther takes a fall and goes to see the Decora.
Neaterific heading into Tower of Hera. Aussie heading back out through Meridia.
Yep. Aussie checking the aqueduct items, sees nothing.
And Asder is heading into Turian. So I guess your initial thought was correct. He just decided to do some one-off checks before heading down there.
Got it.
But with, was that 12 energy tanks, 95 missiles, 55 supers. Yeah, I don't think he'll have any issues here.
None at all.
And I don't think Aussie had saved after before checking the sand pits, because he checked the left one, didn't see anything he liked, and is just moving on.
Oh, he's heading for Main Street. He'll find his ether.
Good. Good.
Doesn't take too many trash for him to get the gate glitch there.
And at 2 hours, 16 minutes and change, Aussie is our first runner in go mode.
Whoa!
And just going through the tube without breaking it. And oh, Nidourific getting knocked into the center hole from Boldor Blue. Ouch.
Oof, that's a double full. Astor does not get the baby Metroid skip, so he's down to 1 health. Remembers to face right after the baby lets go. That means the stand-up animation is about 45 frames shorter.
And in some of these races, those 45 frames can make all the difference.
They really can. Any given race, any given seed. Oh, Nidourific takes another fall.
That is probably the most unique ways I've seen someone take a fall. Boldor knocked him back up, and then off. That was weird. Alright,
Boldor just not putting himself in a vulnerable position for Nidourific. And of course, as soon as I say that, he dies.
Yeah, but with Tempered Sword, it doesn't take that many hits. And Aussie heading into Ice Palace will be able to basically go loading Ice Palace and Misery Mire, assuming either dungeon cooperates. It's always a nice thing.
Yeah.
And Asder getting through phase 1 of Mother Brain.
Phase 1 has 3,000 health, and you have to break the glass with a total of 18 projectiles before the fight will progress.
And it looked like
Phase 2 here has 18,000 health.
And it looked like he was intentionally taking some damage there. He might be possibly looking into the stand-up glitch.
Absolutely, he's looking for it. And there's the catch-up beam.
And Maniacal finishing off Palace of Darkness. Might be heading off to Ice Palace next. Fortunately, still does not have the Bombos Medallion to get into T-Rock.
Alright, Astor is indeed going for stand-up. Keep an eye on Astor's sprite. Right there, the game tried to stick him to the ground, but it failed because he was in midair. The game will try to do that one more time, and as long as he's in the air when that second time happens, he'll be safe to start pumping charge shots into Mother Brain to deal damage to phase 3, which has 36,000 health.
And I believe Asder has Ice Plasma, but not Wave.
That is correct, because Wave was in Turtle Rock. So 600 damage a shot, 60 shots. You can get, if you time it all perfectly, you can get up to about 40 shots with 40 charge shots, which is exactly enough to kill Mother Brain once the baby Metroid has detached permanently.
I find it interesting, Aussie does have Bombos, but decides not to use it against Cold Stare.
That is interesting. Good fight regardless.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just one more crystal for Aussie.
Ooh, Elm pushed it right to the wire. If you have a regular beam shot on screen, well, when the game transitions to Samus having the hyper beam, you can hardlock the game.
Ooh, ouch.
Neaterific going for the infinite bomb jump to get out of this area, which is not a bad strat. Definitely safe.
Ah, and another interesting feature, there's no timer for the escape here. Mostly because this is the first game that is being cleared. I believe if this was the second game cleared, then we would still have the timer, yes?
Correct. Also, sadly, since this is the first game cleared, there is no option to save the animals.
Ah, okay. But considering we're in a race environment, I'd be surprised if our runners opted to do that.
You're a monster.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just telling it. I'm just saying that's what our when first place is on the line, you sometimes sacrifices must be made.
Yeah, but you've played Fusion, haven't you? You know not rescuing the animals is non-canon.
We're playing a game that combines Link to Hyrule and Zeebs. Are we really concerned about canon right now?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if it was just the Super Metroid randomizer, I would grant you that. But given the combo nature of this, I think we're firmly in alternate universe territory at this point.
And in the meantime, Azure is making the Skull Woods play.
Oh boy. To be fair, I don't think we had seen anyone come up, head into there yet.
Yeah, and he found one prize real quick.
Mm-hmm. If he finds all the items in here real fast, that won't lose him too much time. Ooh. Checking bumper ledge. Checking bumper ledge.
And he'll see that he needs it.
Oh, definitely. I find it interesting. I think I'd seen it from all of our runners. They walk up, see the item, and immediately start walking back because
They're so used to it being nothing.
Yeah, you're so conditioned to it being nothing and just moving on that you kind of have to do a double take.
Right.
So now that puts both Asder and Maniacal bombos away from Go mode.
Meantime, Aussie just had to finish Meyer, do Ganon's Tower, and then do Mother Brain.
Yep. So that definitely puts Aussie firmly in the lead at this point.
Definitely.
So even though Asder has beaten Mother Brain already, still has to do Swamp Palace and T-Rock.
Swamp Palace is a fairly quick to-go mode. T-Rock is not, correct?
Yeah, except you can't Go mode Swamp Palace.
Oh, right, because he's got to find Bombos.
This is on left side, remember?
Right. Left side is out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Neaterific is heading towards Ridley.
Aussie is doing the Misery Mire Dark Rooms.
Yeah, still no lamp. We've only one of our runners that has seen the lamp. Was that Asder that saw the lamp?
Yeah, it was in the right sandpit in Meridia.
Yeah, I remembered that much. I just couldn't remember who it was that actually got it.
Yeah, it was Asder.
a shame that the only dark room left for Asder is T-Rock, which really isn't that hard to do. And Aussie is at Vitreous, not even using the bow. He's just using Golden Sword slashes, which, wow. Didn't realize the Gold Sword took the eyeballs out quite that fast.
Yeah, still did a crap ton of damage.
Oh, yeah. It's just that if you have silvers, you usually see people using the silvers. So, with Aussie 101, that's crystal number 7, and so there's a little game that we typically play in situations like this. The lovely guessing game of where the big key is in Ganon's Tower. So I believe it was 1 to 22?
Correct, there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where that big key can be. We don't play the game officially because we're not part of, this is not part of one of the tournaments, but we can all have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I'm going with my standby, which Tess Staub also just put, 4 always wins.
My usual pick is the Firebar room, which by usual routing methods, it would be number 8.
Okay, so what do you think Aster does here? Do you think he full clears as he goes, or does he come back?
He's still 1 item away from go mode. He might. It's always hard to tell. But yeah, he's definitely skipping left side. The bigger question is whether he'll come back and full clear it after beating getting the crystal.
Right.
Because Maniacal left it behind, and who knows how long it'll take for him to come back to it. Especially since there's 3 whole pendant dungeons that have had really well. I think they've all been dipped in some manner or another by our runners, but
yeah. We found all 3 prizes in Eastern. I think we found all 3 prizes in Desert, and there's only 1 prize left in Skull Woods that we know of, because Aster got 1 of them.
Well, there's always the thought of the green pendant turn-in.
And that was Desert, I think?
Yes, Desert's green. And I believe Maniacal for sure checked the pedestal, so he knows it's not going to be that.
Yeah, you said Pettis missiles, I think?
Yes, Pettis missiles. And also he checks right side, and chest 1!
First chest is the big key, second chest is the small key, that's all he needs.
Wow, that's about as God mode GT as you can get.
Holy crap.
The closest guess to that was Testab with 4.
And technically me.
Okay then, well, as long as the runners, well, most runners check those first 2 chests on the right side anyway, so as long as someone's not trying to do something, some offbeat strategy or something, our runners shouldn't be having much of an issue with that. And yep, Maniacal checking Skull Woods. And Asder is going back into Swamp Palace. So that'll be the second of our. You'll be the second of our featured runners. Well, like, still has to get Ice Rod. So
Yeah, but he knows where it is.
But he knows where it is. Yeah.
So it's gonna be Asder's. So this is between Asder and Aussie at this point. It's gonna be Aussie finishing up Ganon's Tower, the Ganon fight, and then Mother Brain, versus Asder go moding Turtle Rock, Ganon's Tower, and the Ganon fight. Who do you think's got the advantage?
Even go moding T-Rock, there's really not that much difference between full clearing T-Rock and go moding T-Rock, especially now since we know that the last key is on Laser Bridge. The fact that Aussie is already this far up Ganon's Tower, I think Aussie has this one. Barring any unforeseen circumstances here. But Neaterific finding Ether. Not to mention that Aussie has Silver's and Golden Sword. Ganon will not be a long fight. I mean,
Gotcha.
granted, it's not going to make that much of a difference compared to Asder having Tempered, but it is a difference.
All right, and that's Asder in go mode at 2:31 and change. That's about 15 minutes behind Aussie.
And I mean, technically not, but he's going to probably go up the left side of Death Mountain, grabbing that ice rod on the way to T-Rock.
Yeah, I would just, yeah, I mean, it's not that they're 15 minutes apart, just that much the time differential.
And X-ray scope at Moldhorn 2. And Maniacal is still making these one-off checks. But I think he might be making the right play now.
Aussie starts off Aga 2 with the single. And another single.
Yeah, that pattern was not agreeable there. The fact that there's blue balls in there too is not helping.
Yeah. So 3 singles so far. I think that might have been another single because the two hit too close together.
Oh, well.
No, it was a double because there was one more and boom.
Yep. Down goes Aga 2, and Maniacal is headed back into Swamp.
Meantime, Neaterific's checking locations in Meridia.
Yep, just checking stuff on the way to Dragon. Alright, what does Ganon have to say for us today? I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. What does that make us?
Absolutely nothing!
Question in chat. Bombos is at left side swamp. And that is pretty much Maniacal's go mode item. And just like that, Aussie's already at phase 3.
Getting trolled horribly by the teleport patterns.
Yeah, but the thing is, everyone should be getting that same pattern, more or less. Find the arrows at Norfair? We certainly did. Here, have some. And, wow.
Very nice shot for the torch glitch.
Yes, definitely. And
finishes Ganon with a double.
Yep.
So I believe that's the Doppler effect strat, same as with Phantoon.
The thing is with getting multiple shots, you can do that as long as Ganon is not at the edge of the room.
Oh, okay.
So if you can position Ganon in near the center of the room, or maybe bottom center and firing upwards, you could easily get a triple.
Okay.
And Nidourific checking sand pits. We'll likely like seeing that, well, checking the left one first. Yeah, and resetting out.
Okay.
Okay, so according to chat, Nidourific checked the right sand pit first. Saw the lamp, might go back for it on the way out of Meridia.
Okay, so Ozzy never found plasma, or he never. No, he never. Yeah, he never found it.
Yeah, I don't think he ever went into Mama Turtle.
Right,
Because
so
because Ether was his go mode item, I believe. So
Right.
he just got Ether and went right back out.
And so we're probably going to see him fight Mother Brain with those 60 super missiles. That's enough to kill her. That's enough to take out Phase 2. Every one he doesn't have, substitute 3 regular missiles.
Yeah, Asder on the tail end of Turtle Rock. Maniacal on his way there now. Nidourific on the way to Dragon. That'll be their fourth Super Metroid boss.
As they're heading toward Laser Bridge, Ozzy in Metroid Room 3. Ozzy going for this baby Metroid skip, and he gets caught.
But then switches the various suit off to let the health drain faster.
Also makes it easier to set up the stand-up glitch, because Aster did that too.
Meanwhile, Asder has finished off Trinex. That's the 7th crystal, and will be off to GT. While Nidourific is taking on Dragon with Ice Plasma. And down goes Dragon. Just getting the Zemtide skip. And as they're getting that early big key and the small key right afterwards.
All right, Ozzy's going to start off Mother Brain 2 with his ammo. Makes sense. So, Mother Brain has food-based attack, as you can see here. We've already seen the French fries and the onion rings. There's the tater tot, or chicken nugget, whichever you prefer to call it. And as we saw on Asher's stream earlier, she's also got the catch-up beam.
Yep, there it is.
And Aussie took that right in the face.
If he's going for a stand-up glitch, it won't matter.
Right.
Has to be careful. Without various suits,
Right.
this will do 600 damage, I believe.
Yes.
And, Nidorific taking that Ether Medallion, heading right into Misery Mire. So even though Aussie, Maniacal, and Asder has pretty much been ahead amongst the majority of this race, Nidorific really isn't that far. Although I didn't go back and get the lamp, so I guess they might be comfortable doing the various dark rooms. And Maniacal heading into the Trinex fight.
As they're going for Samaria strats on the various groups of Wizrubs on floor 5, I believe it is. Gets them pretty handily.
Yeah, that's pretty much standard for most people doing Link to the Past. Even just in general, even outside the randomizer, I would think. Maniacal finishing off Trinex, and Aussie finishing off Mother Brain. And this time around, we will have the countdown.
I don't think Aussie and Ass are going to be separated by more than 2 minutes, say. Because this has been great.
Yeah, Asder's making some very nice progress through Ganon's Tower. Just has to do Moldworm 2, which down he goes. Aga 2, and then the big pig himself.
Yeah, Asher will take a little longer on Ganon because he doesn't have the... he's on Temper Sword and not Butter Sword, but it won't be too much slower.
Nah, not by that much, no. And Maniacal entering into Ganon's Tower, going right side first. Good. Although I see Nidorific, despite having the big key, still checking for items. I noticed that Nidorific still has not done the left side of Swamp yet either.
And GG to Aussie. He's finished in first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 44 minutes, 20 seconds. He has agreed to be interviewed for the post-race, so we'll get him in here as soon as we can.
Yep, first place amongst our featured runners and first place overall. GG.
Alrighty, we are now joined by Aussie. GG.
GG.
This was a fun one to watch, and had you guys going all over the place.
Yeah, going all over the place is usually not fun to play.
Well, I guess we'll always have Schadenfreude then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
This one felt like it was going well up until the search for Bombos and Ether. And then I just lost a ton of time looking for that.
The thing is, finding Bombos actually was largely what put you ahead, because Asder and Maniacal, they both... I know Maniacal did for sure pieced out of Swamp Palace without checking left side. I believe actually Asder did check the... Asder did go back into Swamp, but it was actually Asder finding Ether was the big issue, because Asder actually did Meridia suitless.
Yeah, Astor backdoored in through the cross-game portal, and then it took him a while to get back to the front side.
And with that, Asder has finished second place with an official SRL time of 2:46.16. GG. So
That's
about 2 minutes difference.
Yeah, that's not far apart at all.
Yeah, when your average time is only about... The average race time is about 3.5 hours. 2 minutes is nothing.
Yeah.
And I do believe we are joined by Asder. GG.
Hi, hello. Oh, that was interesting.
Ready? So,
Yeah,
Asder,
it
Aussie, my
certainly
standard
was.
question. Yeah, Asder, Aussie, my standard question for both of you. What did you feel best about in terms of your routing decisions tonight?
For me, it was definitely following Varia to Norfair to get Morph, and then figuring out based on that. I saw Varia, Death Mountain and Norfair for me was out of logic because I didn't have a way to get to Death Mountain yet. But I figured that Blue Brent Star must have had Lamp or Flute, and I decided to hold off a bit to figure out maybe which one it was, to see if I needed it or not. And then so, after creating Direct Ship, I had Fire Rod, but it still seemed like it could have been Flute, and that would have been useful. So I bailed in Wreck Ship, and I went to Blue Brent Star to grab the Flute that I knew was there, either that or Lamp. But yeah, I felt pretty good about kind of understanding what was going on there.
Yep. The noping out of the back half of Wreck Chip was a pretty good decision. The only thing of significance there was the fourth Lord.
Yeah, that was at the E-Tank.
And meanwhile, you were actually, out of our 4 runners here featured, so as of now, you were the only one that actually grabbed the lamp.
Interesting.
Where was the lamp?
Right sandpit.
Okay. So my plan at the very end was to have my last go mode item in Meridia and just look for my bombos before doing that, so I wouldn't have to full clear Meridia.
Yeah, Bombos and Ether were definitely the 2 items that evaded most of you for the longest time.
Now, the only thing you really missed out of Meridia, Aussie, was the plasma beam at Mama Turtle.
Yeah, but by then I had enough supers.
Yeah, I find it interesting that pretty much all of you pretty much took very different routes to get to the end, and just between Aussie and Asder, you guys ended up so close. That was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like probably what made the difference was me doing Meridia really early. Wasted a lot of time. I felt like I had some time to burn because I felt really good about how quickly I'd gotten Morph. And I didn't have Hammer, so I was doing kind of a Dark World Mega route, and I was thinking, well, I kind of want to go to Pod because Flippers open that up, but wait, Flippers also open up Meridia. Maybe I should poke around there. I have everything I need for Dragon, might as well just do that now. I don't know where Hammer is, so I don't know how long it's going to take to get back here. And then, as I was slogging through Meridia, I was trying to get some checks out of the way that I knew were in logic without gravity, and I was just like, this is actually so much slower than if I were to just take a second trip later, and so that felt kind of bad. But it was a pretty impulsive decision to do that.
Well, regardless, your Dragon fight was absolutely a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I got lucky. She didn't swoop any extra times, so I got the crystal flash off right away.
Alright, popping back to the race for a sec, Maniacal just finished off Ganon and just has Motherbrain left now.
So I have a question. How far apart was everyone on picking up Morph? Because I think that was like a big decider or a good source of time loss.
Yeah, who was the first one to head to Bubble Mountain? I forget now. Was it Maniacal?
I think it might have been.
Out of Super Metroid, I went there first, but I was doing a bunch of other checks before that.
I feel like Now, let's see. Yeah, I guess I got it later than other people, actually. Kind of surprised me, but I did do Croc first. Because I felt like speed was pointing there more so, and if you do Croc, you're abandoning one check at Cosine Room, whereas if you do Bubble Mountain, there's like a lot of different ways that you'd pass through Bubble Mountain anyways, and you're missing more checks, and also I didn't have a good way to get to Wave Beam and back, which Grapple being behind Croc actually did for me. So I was like, okay, well, it's probably at Wave Beam and I need Grapple to get back or something. It's just really strange beginning.
Yeah, you had a lot of interesting items right at the start. It was
Yeah,
kinda,
there was a lot of progression early on, and then it just hit a brick wall.
What would you say that brick wall was? Because I'm not really sure.
well, probably maybe Ether and Bombos.
I guess that was it. Like the way I routed, I found Mirror really late, so I guess like I was really steadily finding stuff. I wasn't finding stuff as fast or as slow as other people were at other parts of the seed. It was just kind of more spaced out, so I didn't feel like I hit a wall anywhere. But
Yeah, between Aussie, Asdor, and Maniacal, Asdor was definitely the last one to find. Even including Anita-rific, you were the last one to find the mirror.
yeah, it figures. I should have just walked up there earlier, but I had so much open that it was like it was hard to commit to a particular direction. I actually probably should have at least dipped into Skullwoods before Thieves Town. I forgot I didn't have Hammer, actually. It was just kind of like getting Morph Ball and then Moon Pearl in kind of quick succession, and knowing I had Dark World access was really it did weird things to my brain.
Yeah, meanwhile, Anita-rific is actually on the way to Mothula. Pretty much Ombos away from Go Mode, has already finished Swamp Palace, never did check left side, though.
Can we get some absence not like this is in chat, folks?
Well, if anything, we may... I know Anita-rific did check Pedestal, so he knows that it's not going to be there. Oh, there are some items that we have yet to see. Still have yet to find Space Jump and Spring Ball. Maybe we'll stumble upon where those might be.
So, Aussie, Esther, you two have any final comments before we let you go?
I don't know. I read this interestingly, but I feel like I've been approaching randomizers very strangely, and I probably wouldn't suggest people do most of the things I did in my route. I've gotten really weird about weighing stuff, but I played in a way that I felt was fun, and this weeklies are just kind of whatever. So,
Yeah,
so it was fun.
my
Yeah,
opener
everyone-
was entirely just for fun.
Yeah, everyone has their own way of doing things. Just whatever works for you.
I mean, like I don't really know that it does work. Is kind of what I'm saying. So maybe I should think more about what I'm doing. But GG's. Thanks for commentary and stuff.
You're welcome. I had a great time watching the both of you.
Yeah, thank you for putting yourselves out there for our viewing entertainment. Yeah.
Yep, thanks. So I guess my comment is that it was a very interesting seed. I don't think I've seen speed as access to Upper North Fair before. So that was a lot of fun. As in the Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, finding speed pretty early, the boots pretty early. It was definitely an emphasis on high speed.
Yep. Interesting seed. Had fun with it.
Glad you had fun. I certainly had fun watching you. Alrighty, folks, that was Aussie 101 and Aster finishing in first and second place respectively. And Maniacal is now on to Mother Brain 3. He will be finishing shortly.
And meanwhile, Neaterific is still hunting around for that Bombos medallion. Might be paying a visit to Landmolus. Yeah. Maybe thinking about a green pendant turn-in. I fear that going back into Swamp might be the last thing on their mind.
That would be unfortunate.
Yes, definitely. But at least once Neaterific does find Bombos, pretty much just only has T-Rock as the only pendant dungeon left to do.
Crystal Dungeon?
Yeah. What did I say, pendant?
Yeah, you did.
Ah. The one nice thing about the pendant dungeons, at least for the most part, you're finding the items quickly. So that even if there wasn't much there, you weren't spending too much time digging through it. Which I don't think there was much to be had in the pendant dungeons this time around.
Yeah, I don't think we saw any real progression in any of them.
Oh, right, besides Varian Desert. How can we forget that?
Oh, right, yeah, we did forget about that. I did.
And Sahasrara just has 300 rupees. And Maniacal finishes in third place with an official SRL time of 2:59.58. GG.
Just barely under the 3 hour mark.
It looks like Nidorific is heading back in the swamp.
I will be right back. I gotta go get a drink.
All right. Question in chat. Nope, there has not been any forfeits as of yet. Out of these 7 runners, they're all still going. The other runners in this particular race, we have Karakarn, Hitaka, and Pee-Pee-chan. And we have Maniacal in the booth. GG.
Hey, thank you. GG.
So, how do you think this seed treated you?
It was okay. There were some things that went very badly for me. My execution was pretty garbage. So, not too shocked. I felt like I needed to make some gambles. Gambled around in a way that I couldn't have afforded to in terms of skipping go mode and then hunting Bombos for another 15 minutes. But otherwise, it felt fairly good. I felt good about when I went and got Morph Ball. Even though I'd basically full cleared to that point, I felt like it was still fairly smooth and condensed routing. And felt good about getting to Hammer when I did. Hammer and Bow really were pretty lucky for me. So that felt good. Probably should have gone to Pod earlier. Ultimately, that wasn't the solution, but probably should have done it earlier. Otherwise, I think if I do Pod before I go to Swamp, that I'm less likely to dip out on Swamp. And I probably should have scouted right Sand Pit when I saved at Aqueduct. So that was a little bit of a mistake. That one didn't end up mattering. I didn't get back to that, but
it turns out the right sand pit had the lamp.
Yeah, so that ultimately didn't matter. So I was wondering where that was going to show up, though. I was surprised it wasn't in Skullwoods, to be honest. But yeah, I was thinking about that location, and so the number of loose ends I had between those and like Upper Wreck Chip and things when I skipped left side Swamp really kind of made it the right equity call. And I'm happy with when I got back to get Bombos, but ultimately with the level of play I was putting up tonight and the overall very thorough routing early and having some really dead areas show up in there, I knew that I needed to get pretty lucky if I wanted to be competitive in this one.
Well, I mean, you weren't really that far behind from Aussie and Asder. Really, the one that really set you back was finding Bombos. If you had stuck around Swamp House, you probably would have been right in the thick of it. And even then, getting a sub 3 is probably nothing to be ashamed of in this combo randomizer.
Yeah, I was playing for the sub 3, definitely. Was happy to be able to get it, even though I had some really bad movement in my Torian escape, and screwed up Baby Skip, and screwed up Charge Ice Plasma Zeb Skip for like 15 seconds. There was a lot that went bad in Torian, and so I was glad that I was still able to cobble together a sub 3 out of it, even barely.
Well, if it's any consolation, Aussie and Asder weren't able to get Baby Skip either.
I mean, as with most of these, I mean, outside of tournaments, you're really just playing against yourself, and it's fun to get a benchmark of how you do relative to other people. So I'm not going to feel better about failing Baby Skip just because they didn't get it either.
Fair enough. Although I want to say you were the first one to get Morph Ball. You were the first to go to, and I want to say you were the first one to explore Dark Death Mountain as well, and getting Hammer and Bow.
Yeah, those were the 3 items that when I found them, I felt like that was really good for me. Those were the things I was happiest about in the race in terms of how it played out. So that doesn't surprise me to learn that, actually.
And basically, the biggest issues for really all 3 of you, well, I guess all 4 of you counting Nidourific, was finding those medallions.
Yeah, I mean, Go mode minus 2 medallions plus flippers is a horrible spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Because, especially when flippers isn't the last thing you find. Like, I mean, everyone's Go mode was pretty much Bombos, right?
Actually, Asder's Go mode was Ether.
I was gonna say, otherwise it pretty much had to be Ether.
Yeah, because Asder went in the back way and fought Dragon Suitless.
Yeah, I considered that, especially because most of the front of Meridia was already open in the logic when I got Gravity, but Gravity was like the only lead I had, and if I was going to back to front Meridia, I was going to go into the front anyway, and so if you go front to back, it turns out to be a little cleaner routing-wise. I'm a little more comfortable with it, and it made more sense for me to do that coming up from Lower Norfair, and so actually was kind of... that felt like a pretty comfortable route. I definitely entertained the idea of going backdoor Dre and then dipping out because of what Gravity does in the logic and doesn't do, given that we had Grapple, High Jump, and Ice all available.
And of course, it turns out Gravity was required anyway. Since Ether was at Main Street.
Barring Spark Suit shenanigans, yes.
I guess.
You can... I was gonna say, you can like Spike Suit Kraid and go over and get it, but I mean, for most players, you're gonna...
Because I know there's a lot of tricks that are factored into hard mode. I don't think that's one of them, though.
Oh, no, it's absolutely not in the logic. It's just... you can work around if you really want to. But that's not something that I would have considered in range as a play for myself, unless I was doing Suitless, found Ether there, and had a lot of locations left to check for Gravity. Then I'd probably go for it. But
yeah, the time spent hunting down Gravity versus time spent getting Ether without it. Yeah,
I mean, really, it's a matter of how long it would take me to get the Spike Suit, and I'm just not super consistent at it. So I probably would have been better served by going and getting Gravity. Yeah, this was a fun seed. Got a little bodied by Go mode, but that's kind of the name of the game with this one. Glad, even with as badly as it went, that I was able to put the sub 3 together. But don't really have too much to say about this one. I felt good about when I got a lot of the checks in terms of being really thorough with the routing, but making kind of judicious skips, and ultimately got punished by the left side swamp one.
And not to mention having all those interesting items right at the start, like having stuff like Titan's Miss, Hook Shot, all the good fun stuff early on that kind of sent you in. It would send you in like 5 different directions.
Yeah, it was weird. It didn't really open all that much stuff. Like, I kind of was expecting King's Tomb to be something, and then it wasn't. It was just a super pack. And so I expected Lamp to show up early, but then it was Flute that was in Blue Bryn as the Death Mountain access, which is what put Upper Norfair in Logic. Although, I was kind of glad that I held off going there until after I grabbed the Various Suit, just because it would have saved me time. Just because doing Morphless Hell runs means you can't Crystal Flash, so you kind of... I would have probably had to rely a little bit on the Nutella refill down there by Crocomire, if I was going to do it that way, but... yeah, I felt pretty good about the early game, despite the fact that, like, I checked all of the things. But... ultimately, even though it gave you a bunch of cool stuff, it didn't really give you a whole lot of access, and then, of course, it was very Moon Pearl limited. And I felt good leaving Wrecked Ship for much later. And so I ended up basically triple dipping Wreck Ship. I went and grabbed Moon Pearl at Moat, left, went down Red Tower, got my Varia suit. Was it
Various suit was in desert.
Varia suit was in desert? What was it? Oh, Fire Rod was an X-ray. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went down Red Tower after Moon Pearl, got my Fire Rod, and if Skullwoods wasn't dependent, I would have immediately rushed that, but instead I kind of put that off, but it let me work around Lamp, which was nice. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a cool seed the way it played out. It didn't give you too much, and it had some items in some kind of crappy spots. Oh, I felt really good about checking Bumper Cave when I did, because I had no real reason to be up there, but it gave me Cape in a conspicuous spot. And so I felt good about when I got to Mirror as well. That was one that I could have very easily missed for a long while.
And that was one that Asder kind of missed too, because Asder ended up going into Skull Woods, pretty much checked like one or two chests, and then backed out, and then checked Bumper Ledge, and there you go. But unfortunately, Nitorific went straight to left side GT. That is going to be unfortunate, unless he's doing Dark Magician. Yes, he is. Okay, there we go. All is well.
All right. Well, I don't have too much more to say about the seed. I had a good time with it. Glad I was able to get a race in this evening. Thank you to Big Boct and Melee Wizard for the commentary and the restream. And I think Mind of Me was on tracking. I'm not certain.
It was Mind of Me and who else was it again? I think it was
Link Force.
Link Force, yes.
Well.
Welcome back, Big Boct.
You were doing a great job with the interview, so I just let you take it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, thank y'all for making the restream happen. Really appreciate it. GG's to Aussie and Asder, who've already finished, and Nitorific, whom I'm sure is going to be finishing up. And then also, I think we've got Karakarn and PP and Hitaka going. GG's to them as well. Hopefully they had fun with this one too. And that's all I've got. Thank y'all for having me into chat.
Yep, and
You're
once
welcome.
again, GG on the sub 3.
Thank you. Take it easy.
You do the same. Alright, so Nitorific is heading up Candace Tower at the escalating gauntlet, as I call it, on floor 4. You start off with enemies and conveyors.
And breaking out the bee. That's I don't think that's something I've ever seen before. It was very effective.
Yes, it was. And of course, in the end, you went enemies, multiple lasers, conveyors, spikes, and ice. What?
Still no sight of Space Jump and Spring Ball, not that they're really that relevant now.
Yeah, definitely not.
And for all we know, they might be in GT or something. Because there really aren't that many other places to check, I don't think.
No, there's the pendant dungeons, but that's about it.
Nitorific pretty much full cleared the pendant dungeons. Yeah, Nitorific full cleared, Skull. We had already gotten all the items out of Desert, turned in the green pendant, which had nothing.
Yeah,
already got all the items out of Eastern. So, besides Shack Tool, Plasma.
Yeah, I think those are the only 2 Super Metroid spots that weren't checked.
let's see. And yep, down goes Old Worm 2. Getting the oh so important X-ray scope. Yeah, some of these Aga 2 patterns are just not friendly at all, but Nidorufic makes good work of it. And I'm guessing Nidorufic didn't get the fourth sword out of Rex Ship. If there was going to be one that was missed, I would think it would be that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because the one at Crocomire Escape was right there. The one at Library was right there. And we have a fourth place finisher. PP Chan finishes with an official SRL time of 3:17:22. GG.
How about that?
Question, was Green Pendant checked? Yes, I believe it was just 300 rupees. Does not get the torch glitch, but doesn't really need it. 3 and 4. Down
All right,
goes
so-
Ganon.
Get your single G's in chat, folks.
So all Nidorufic has to do is take out Mother Brain, and that will be that. I wonder how often it is that in these seeds that we end up with, what, 12 energy tanks? Because I would think outside of like 100% or GT code or something, you wouldn't see anywhere near this much health during a run. Nidorufic is kind of low on supers. A little surprised they didn't refill it back at the ship. Although I guess when you have the full beam combo, you're not really that concerned about your super count.
Yeah, not at all.
As long as you're able to get past the Metroids, that's all that really matters. And when you have 125 missiles, even that's not that big of a thing. Ooh, and he got caught. Ooh, got caught again. There we go. So I noticed he turned off screw attack, but not various suit. And nope, gets caught. So one thing I've often thought, is it do you have to use missiles against Phase 1, or can you use charge shots too?
You have to use missiles.
Okay. I can see how just using like missiles and supers would be faster. Figured if worse came to worse, but hey, if missiles are required, then yeah, it's nice to have those on hand. Just like that, the ketchup beams are coming out. Going for the stand-up glitch again, going with the various suit still on, which I guess could be a bit of safety involved, considering that's a lot of damage that you're taking per hit without the various suit. I remember older versions of the Super Metroid Randomizer when you could have more than 14 energy tanks. And
I remember that too. That was fun times.
yeah, particularly during this moment where the Super Metroid, the baby Metroid's healing you, and if you had more than 14 energy tanks, eventually Mother Brain wouldn't know what to do and would actually stop firing shots at you.
I don't remember that.
I guess you would have had to have had more than let's see, it would have to have been more than 1,800 health overall, I guess, because that. Ooh, what the? Did you hear that?
I did.
Should I be concerned about what I'm seeing just now?
Now it looks like Nidorovic's just having a little fun.
Okay, as long as he knows what he's doing, because I don't think I've ever actually seen the hard lock, and I was afraid I just did, but I guess not. And with that, Nidorific finishes 5th place overall with an official time of 3:27:40. GG.
I know we will be having Nidorific in here for an interview.
And if you think this randomizer is neat and want to give it a try yourself, there's a link to the Discord, if nothing else, and if nothing else, you can find all the resources that you need there. If you have any questions or issues or something, the community's pretty friendly and we'll be able to help you out. And we have Nidorific in the booth. GG.
Thank you. Hello. Did anyone count how much time I wasted trying to find Morph Ball?
I did not.
I'm thinking at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, Morph Ball was definitely in an interesting spot this time around.
Yeah, but I'm despite this mess and almost last locating Bombos, I'm still happy this is a sub 330.
Oh yeah, that's definitely an impressive thing. And Bombos was pretty much the go mode item for a couple of our other featured runners. And you were not the only one to leave Left Side Swamp behind.
It's burned me more than once in the past, especially in combos. I think I'll just bite the bullet and clear it from now on.
So, Nidorific, my standard question to everybody. What did you feel best about in terms of your routing decisions tonight?
Well, I'm glad I did Lower North Fair when I did, despite the fact that it did not have anything. I killed Golden Torizo pretty easily, and Ridley as well. It's a shame I wasn't rewarded for it, but I'm assuming the other restream runners also did Lower North Fair pretty well.
Yeah, they all pretty much follow the same path, going in through the Misery Mire entrance and taking out Ridley that way.
Did anyone find Spring Ball?
Nope, no spring ball, no space jump.
Huh.
But the only checks in Super Metroid that we never saw were Plasma Beam and Shack Tool, and then there's most of the GT basement. So, since the big key was found so early, there was really no need to check anything else.
Yeah, the way it goes. Well, at least I hope I still put a good show, despite being paired with OC and Asder and Maniacal.
Well, if nothing else, according to one of our trackers, you were the first one to find Variasuit in Desert.
Oh. Didn't do much with it until way later, though. But yeah. I've learned to basically full clear both Super Metroid and Zelda until you find Morph Ball. It can be literally anywhere until you find it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Morph Ball and Moon Pearl are definitely a couple of the big items that can lock a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
And if nothing else, I think it was... just from looking at your tracker, it looks like you didn't really check much else in Wrecked Ship after beating Phantom.
I think I full cleared Wrecked Ship. Oh, this... Yeah, Wrecked Ship only had flippers, I think. As a progression item, I mean.
Yeah, there was also the last sword upgrade at the Wrecked Ship E-Tank.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I remember that. I bailed out on it.
Oh, okay. So you did see that one.
Yeah. I had a...
when you have silvers, the difference
Yeah.
between tempered and golden sword really isn't that much.
Yeah, even then, I mean, you save maybe like 20 seconds against Ganon.
Right.
Would have taken me more than 20 seconds to come back from the back of Wrecked Ship, so easy call to make. I had a strange mishap. I accidentally, at one point, maybe you saw me stop moving for a good 30 seconds. It wasn't just I was pondering where Morphball could be, but I had also accidentally reset my tracker, so I had to re-click on everything.
I remembered
that
you.
sucks.
I remembered you revisiting Mini Moldrum Cave. I was afraid that you maybe had gotten lost or mistracked something.
I very occasionally forget to talk to the NPC in Mini Moldrum Cave, and I thought he might have progression. But that wasn't the case. Anyway, it was overall it was a fun seed, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't. Aside from maybe where Bombos was, it wasn't really the trolliest of things. Like there was the flute in the ceiling. The Moon Pearl was at the moat.
Yeah, and Morph Ball.
Morph Ball in near Bubble Mountain. Yeah, that was probably the big trolley thing probably that the seed had to offer.
Yeah, I'm still not too keen on all the hard logic, and it's the only way to get Morph Ball where it was to do a damage boost, since we didn't have high jump boots. Does anyone know?
Big Buck, do you have the answer for that one?
I don't. What was the question?
You know
this
the
question-
entrance to Norfair Reserve? The one item there?
Yeah.
One of the logic way to do it is to get damage boosted by the waiver. But there's also, if you have the high jump boost, you can do a wall jump. So did we get high jump boost before or after that?
Where was High Jump Boots again? I don't remember.
High jump boots was at Omega Missiles, so it was not accessible.
Okay. So damage boost was the logical way to get to Morph Ball. Okay.
Although I think I want to say Asder did the Crockermeyer era beforehand, so it had grapple. And where was Ice Beam again?
I think Ice Beam was at Wave Beam.
Ah, okay. So yeah, you would have to get up there to get to Wave Beam 2.
Well, it was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed commentating and watching.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a neat seat. It was definitely impressed with some of the stuff that you guys were doing.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching too. It's always nice when you get a lot of route divergence between racers.
And there was definitely a lot of that tonight. Yeah, everyone was going in all sorts of different directions.
That's cool. Well, thanks for everything, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. And we have Itaka coming in 6th place with a time of 3:34.57. Go ahead and jumping into chat here as well. And I think that brings it to a close for us. Do you have any final words, Big Boct?
I do not. I had a great time calling this with you, Melee Wizard, and I look forward to maybe doing it again.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do this a lot lately because of work, so it's nice to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My primary job schedule is erratic, so I can't commentate all the time as much as I'd like.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I've been involved in the Zelda 2 Max Rando tournament. My work schedule can match that stride for stride, so...
Oh, okay.
So
All right,
I
think we're about ready to wrap it up. Do you have any final comments, Melee Wizard?
I don't plan on even touching hard mode anytime soon after seeing what it can require of our runners.
Yeah, I probably won't either. Although, to be fair, I enjoy commentating a lot more than I enjoy playing these days. So
Sometimes I just wish I had the time to play more often.
yeah, I know how you feel.
Alright, so I guess alongside our trackers, Mind of Me and Link Force, my co-commentator Big Box, and all the people involved in the Speed Gaming family of networks, I am Melee Wizard, and have a nice night.
See you next mission.